you know, that's perfect, even better, less woke. He brought me a Diet Dr. Pepper, and I prefer not to drink woke Coke. As soon as you say it sounds good, comma, I will mute, comma, and we plan to start at 6:40 p.m., period. If we start 2 or 3 minutes later than that, comma, it's quite okay. Let me know when everything sounds good, comma, and I will mute everything until 6:40 p.m., period. If we start a couple or 3 minutes late, comma, no worries.
Test.
Okay, comma, got your text, period. I will go ahead and mute now if that's okay, and give you a heads up when we're about to go live. All right.
Hello, Roger. We're good. All right.
Everybody, happy December and welcome to the fourth round of the playoffs, and the Marshall Buffs are the last team standing in Fort Bend County and Fort Bend ISD, and VypeFortBend.com is going to follow them all the way, hopefully, to a state championship. Tonight they take on Port Neches-Groves, a district rival from District 9, Class 5A, Division 2. I'm Roger Smith and Patrick Kinnick is here. We both made it in separate vehicles. It was not easy. The traffic was terrific, as they say in the old Christmas song. Patrick, what excites you about this ball game?
Well, first of all, thanks for letting me be here, Roger. It's just I'm excited about where we are. This is a great facility here in Galena Park. Both teams are obviously doing well. You've got to be doing well to make it to the fourth round. So that means you've won some games and you've got some momentum going. I'm excited about this crowd. We got a great crowd on hand, especially the Port Neches-Groves fans who come in. And Roger, remind me about how far do they have to come to this point, do you think?
This, I didn't measure the mileage or anything, but as far as a neutral site, this is perfect for the folks in Port Neches-Groves and the people in Missouri City. It's about an equal trip for both of them. But you mentioned the support in Port Neches-Groves. And what I heard is that they sold all 4,000 of the tickets that were available to them. Wow. But I might have heard something that, I guess you could buy more. You always could buy more.
I would hope so. And I know the Marshall crowd filling in, they could have had a different type of traffic situations to get here, coming all the way from Missouri City. So I'm sure their crowd, they got a good start over there, and I know it's going to get bigger as we get closer to game time.
Well, Marshall has a great tradition, as you and I know, but it's all in the 21st century, and Port Neches-Groves has been around much, much longer than that. They have state championships and state championship game appearances where they came up just a little bit short. So they are very, very proud, and it's just quite impressive the way they support their Indians.
You can see the tradition just right in front of us here with all these purple people eaters out there. They got purple clad all over the place on our side here.
And dare I say, as a classic rock fan like you, that it is a deep purple.
Yes, right.
But from what I hear, they're a lot nicer than the guys in the band with deep purple who just weren't that much fun to talk to. All right, it is time for the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show, and we'll tell you that this VypeFortBend.com radio presentation of the Marshall Buffs in the state playoffs is brought to you by Xfinity, Xfinity Mobile, the best kept secret in wireless. By First Tire and Auto, 4 great Fort Bend County locations where you get the best prices on tires and anything your vehicle needs to run at its very best. Visit FirstTireandAuto.com. by Next Level Urgent Care. More than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugarland, Sienna, Longmeadow, Greatwood, and 4 locations in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. By Archer Volkswagen, open since 1956 and ready to serve you. Archer Volkswagen is on Highway 59 South, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway, and you will feel like family at Archer Volkswagen. By the Needville Insurance Agency, put hundreds if not thousands of dollars back in your pocket when the Needville Insurance Agency team shops all those insurance carriers to find the lowest rate for car, home, and flood insurance. Call Bradley Stavanaugh at 979-793-7411 or click needvilleinsurance.com. And Equitable Advisors. It's never too early or too late to get with Nick Arevalo and Equitable Advisors. They will create that smooth, soft landing into a wonderfully comfortable retirement for you. Check out Equitable Advisors. And they happen to be the sponsors of our Countdown to Kickoff show, and we'll be back with James Williams of the Marshall Buffs. The Buffs are the visiting team tonight, and we'll be right back on VypeFortMen.com. Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional at 281-712-8777 or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, member FINRA SIPC, investment advisory through Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. CFP is a certification mark owned by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, Incorporated. This mark is awarded to individuals who successfully complete the CFP Board's initial and ongoing certification requirements. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 4th round of the playoffs. It's the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show and a rematch between the Port Neches-Groves Indians and our Marshall Buffs and James Williams, the head coach. I know you've been looking at these guys, looking at every piece of tape that you can since the game where you defeated them, and that was 10 weeks ago, or maybe even 11 weeks ago. I'm not sure, give or take a week. What is different about Port Neches-Groves now than the day you played them in the district opener?
Well, first of all, thanks for covering us as always, especially in the 4th round. We're blessed to be here and excited to play tonight. But they do a great job over there. Coach Joseph does a tremendous job, and they're disciplined, they're physical, they execute very well. And with now game 14, is all that experience just continues to get better and better as the year goes on. So the good thing is I feel we've gotten better as well, and so we're excited about the matchup.
Well, I always appreciate what you say before your first answer, which is always that you thank us for covering you. It's our pleasure. Thank you for having a team that is so enjoyable to cover and to give us these opportunities to go into December with our coverage. Now, I wanted to ask you, they seem to kind of have a 1-2 punch at quarterback that is more than just bringing in the Wildcat once in a while. They've got number 19. He rushes the ball, it seems like, a lot when he's behind center, and Cole Crippen is listed as their starter. So how do you prepare for something like that?
Well, you're correct. They're a little different. They run certain plays when certain quarterbacks are in, so we just got to be aware of who's that quarterback, and we'll make a call effectively to take care of that. And you're right, 19 is more of a runner. He does a good. He even plays him at running back, so he does a good job of getting yards and falling forward. But again, we're going to be locked in and who's that quarterback and execute our defense.
By the way, I was not able to look this up, but I wanted to figure out, have you played in this magnificent stadium before at Galena Park?
Yes, we have. We played here probably about 3 times. A very beautiful stadium, beautiful turf. So we always enjoy coming here, and we're undefeated here so far. 3 years we played here. So God willing, we'll in about 3 hours we'll be smiling and feel good and still undefeated.
I sure hope so. And as you were talking, I was thinking maybe there was a game you played against Nederland that was here.
No, sir. No, we've not played them. No, sir.
Okay, but it's not only a beautiful facility, and the turf is like if Augusta National made an artificial turf field, it would look like this. But also, it seems like it's a perfect neutral site. Am I right?
It really is. It's a good site, good stadium. It's a beautiful night, Friday night, December 2nd, and a great night for football, Friday Night Football in Texas.
We don't talk too much about your players individually, but one guy that I can't help but notice every time I see the Buffs play is Jordan Sample. And I know the sad thing is that he's a senior, so it's going to be tough to play defense without him next year. But what can you say that hasn't already been said, or if you want to repeat something, that's okay, about Jordan and how great he is?
Well, first and foremost, the best thing about Jordan is he's a great young man. Off the field and in the classroom, in the community, he's a great young man. And I've enjoyed coaching him for 4 years, and he just developed into a very good athlete, and not only athlete but a very good football player. So hopefully we're going to enjoy a few more games with him, and tonight should be a great night for him to show and get a lot of tackles and make a lot of plays. They're going to be out there for him to make.
All right, Coach Williams, it's been very consistent. I've seen your team look just very businesslike. I mean, they enjoy themselves, and you hear some of their chants and things like that, the rituals, but it seems like it's total business to this point.
It definitely is. They're locked in. They're ready to go. We've had a very good week of preparation, and they're ready. They know they're going to face a very good team tonight, and it's up to us to take care of ourselves, to play the Marshall in-block football that we always play, and that's physical and disciplined football, and with great effort. And if we do that, I feel we'll be victorious tonight.
All right, Coach Williams, best of luck tonight. Hope to see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll continue, and we'll visit with Jeff Joseph, head coach of Port Neches-Groves, when we continue. Marshall, by the way, because you noticed that James Williams was our first interview, they are the visitors, and Port Neches-Groves the home team. That's why Jeff Joseph goes second. And we'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time. No. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
Welcome back to the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show. Port Neches-Groves and Fort Bend Marshall, one of the best matchups in the state tonight in the 4th round of the playoffs. And here to introduce himself and the rest of our officiating crew is our referee.
Greg Maxwell, umpire Melvin Ross, head linesman Jason Mannies, line judge Chad Jackson, side judge Deion Samuel, field judge Larry Metcalf, and back judge Chuck Gurney.
Thank you, Mr. Maxwell. Have a good game.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be back and talk to James Williams. No, that we already did that, right? Sorry. I'm excited. You could probably tell. Anyway, we'll be back with Jeff Joseph, head coach of the Port Neches-Groves Indians, when we continue on your broadcast home for Fort Bend County Sports, VypeFortBend.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Equitable Advisors Countdown to Kickoff show on VypeFortBend.com. And we've got a fourth-round playoff game between the Marshall Buffs and Port Neches-Groves, two teams that saw each other in September. And it's time to talk with their coach, Jeff Joseph. Coach Joseph, first of all, I just cannot ignore this amazing crowd that is, as we pre-record this interview about an hour and a half before kickoff, you're going to have a huge home advantage, even though this is a neutral field.
Yeah, we come from two very proud communities of Port Neches and Groves, and those people support athletics. They support their teams, and they're gonna show up and support us tonight.
Do you know how many tickets your fan base bought?
I have no idea.
I heard it was something like 4,000, and I would not be surprised if it exceeds that by a lot.
I hope they bought all of them.
I know what you mean, and this is a beautiful stadium as well. If you fill one side, you got quite a crowd. So let's talk about the fact that your team has not lost a game since you met Marshall early on. You've won 9 straight. How are the Indians different than they were that day?
I think we've done a little more to find our identity about who we're going to be as a football team. We've come together as a group and as a unit, and have started playing together more as a team.
All right, what are the things that you must accomplish offensively if you're going to get the victory tonight?
We got to be efficient. We got to take care of the football. We got to limit our turnovers and give our defense a chance where we don't put them in short fields.
A lot of times during the year, in fact, almost every time when there is a coin toss prior to the game, I see the team that wins the toss defer. Do you think you might do something different if the toss goes your way?
That's going to be a field thing after the pregame, so we'll see what happens.
All right, so anything that you think is maybe an intangible that could possibly give your team the edge? Is there anything going on in the way of, I know it's antiquated to say bulletin board material because kids don't even know what a bulletin board is anymore, but is there anything that is really driving your team or any kind of theme that they have?
No, I think once you get to the fourth round of the playoffs, the motivation is all going to be intrinsic. And if you aren't excited about playing in a game like this, then you really don't have a pulse. We're really concerned with us as a team and what we can control and what we can do on a day-to-day basis in practice and headed into this game.
All right, that's Jeff Joseph, and really appreciate you joining us because at this point in the playoffs, well, we did meet back in September, but a lot of teams, a lot of coaches don't know who I am, and they say buzz off. So thanks for taking some time to talk with us.
No problem. Appreciate you.
All right, we'll be back with a kickoff. It'll be Marshall taking on Port Neches-Groves when we continue on VypeFortBend.com. I'm Roger Smith. Patrick Kinnick will join me if he can make it through all the traffic and the cloudy skies. But if the weather holds, we should have an awesome football game tonight. Might even have an awesome football game even if the weather is awful. We are at Galena Park ISD Stadium on Wallaceville Road, and this is your broadcast home for Fort Bend County Sports, VypeFortBend.com. We'll be right back.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County Sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Long Meadow, and 4 in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Football fans, don't miss the UIL State Football Championship experience at Cowboys Stadium in Arlington in December. Come out for an action-packed 4 days, Wednesday the 14th through Saturday the 17th, and see the best teams in all divisions battle it out in the final games of the season. Tickets and information about how you can get an all-tournament pass can be found at uiltexas.org. The biggest noise that you're going to hear tonight, without a doubt, is from the Port Neches-Groves crowd, and that would be even if Marshall outscores them by 5 touchdowns, because Port Neches-Groves, first of all, is on the near side. They're close to our microphone. And Patrick, if you stand up and look down at both ends, there's a little bit of space for seats, but not too much. And now, the Star-Spangled Banner. Well, Patrick, I was not expecting that the Star-Spangled Banner would be sung as opposed to being played by the band, but that sounded great. We turned it up as loud as we could. We hope that you heard it as well as you wanted to. So let's talk about the situation that these two teams find themselves in. You know, it's kind of difficult when you know you can beat a team, but it can be kind of a trap, really, when you think about beating a team by 20 points in the first district game of the season, and now you face them again in the regional final, which is also the state quarterfinal.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder what position I'd rather be in. Team is chasing them, like Port Neches-Groves is doing, or being favored. It's kind of hard to know which one I'd rather be. Sometimes I'd like to be the underdog a little bit. If you're chasing somebody that has already beaten you, and you got a little bit edge.
Yes, I guess in Rocky II, Mickey, the trainer, said to Rocky, it's what the Bible calls a psychological edge. I think are there any Bible translations where the word psychological is actually used? I don't know that there were, but maybe Mickey's right anyway. Maybe he was inspired when he said that. But when we think about it, during the last 11 seasons, what I call the golden age of Marshall Buffs football, the 2012 season to the present, 6 opponents who have eliminated the Buffs during the playoffs: Manor, George Ranch, College Station a couple of times, Aledo twice in state championship games, Crosby and Barbers Hill. All of those are now in a higher classification. One school eliminated the Buffs during the last 11 years. That was Port Lavaca Calhoun. They're now in Class 4A. And the Marshall Buffs are going to get the football first to start this game And Patrick, I was kind of looking at facts and things like that. You were looking at the gathering in the middle of the field. Did Marshall win the toss, or did Fort Neches-Groves win the toss? I was a little bit curious just to think about what was going to happen. You know, maybe there was a chance that PNG would want the ball first. Andre Sandoval is going to kick the ball off. Jacoby Banks is in the middle of the field at the 10-yard line, and the Buffs would love it if it ends up in his hands. There is Sandoval's kick, and it's a pretty good one. It's hooked into the end zone, and Banks has to go into the end zone to catch it on the fly, takes a knee, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. We are ready to rock.
I think that was a smart decision on his part, because he was going backward, having to field that good kick. He would have had to kind of regather himself and get out of there. So they're going to take a 25-yard line, and let's see if the Buffs can continue that offensive onslaught that they had last week. Roger, remember last week I don't know if they were hardly stopped.
Well, did you realize, I didn't realize it at the time, Jordan Davis, their quarterback, was 20 out of 21 passing.
I didn't notice it at the time. But
and no picks. Jet sweep to the right on the first play. Jacoby Banks hammers it forward and picks up about 3 yards going over the right side, and coming up out of the secondary, Torian Hinton made the tackle for PNG at 2nd down and 7. Marshall is in the white uniforms. They're the road team. White jerseys, white pants, black letters outlined in gold. UCLA style striping, black and gold on each shoulder, and the gold helmets with the big black capital M on the side. Empty backfield as Jordan Davis takes the snap, wants to pass on 2nd and 7. Lets it go near sideline, and he's got a completion. Andre Feast. No. Well, okay. Hard to see. We are far up, but I thought I had a little gap of vision between two purple jerseys standing along the sideline, and it looked like Feast had gotten at least 1 foot down, but the officials ruled that he did not, so it's 3rd down and 7.
Pass for Davis, just slightly high with his feet, but Roger said it really looks like he was in.
Three-man front for PNG on 3rd down and 7. And a give to Jayadrian Wortham. No, it's a keeper, Jordan Davis, and he's hammered for a loss of 3, right back to the original line of scrimmage. And that will be that. 3 and out. And yet the Marshall Buffs gain absolutely nothing, as Jonathan Hernandez, he's a sophomore, came up, and he was one of several players that spilled Jordan Davis on the read pass option. And by the way, I said read pass option. Your option is not to read. No one's out there to read a book, so it was the run pass option. And now the punt is away, and it's a rather short one. Lands beyond midfield and rolls on down toward the 40 and comes up just short of that. And that punt by Larry Benton of the Marshall Buffs, and now with the ball at the 41-yard line, PNG takes over.
Good job there by the PNG.
34 yards on the punt. Ball marked at the 41.
Chris Baxter, he got away from that kick as it was rolling on the ground, and he just darted away. He didn't want to catch all the touches. PNG got pretty good field position to start their first drive.
Cole Crippen will start at quarterback for PNG, but we know that Shea Adams will also play quarterback. He scored a couple of touchdowns last week, and he plays receiver when he's not at quarterback. Then he moves under center and sneaks it ahead on the first play and picks up 4. Gets it from the 41 to the 45, and he just went in motion, and you expect him to go all the way to the other side of the formation. He stopped right behind the center and sneaked forward.
Number 11, Ryan Simpson.
All that play, wedge.
2nd and 6.
Wedge. Get everybody all tight in there, and you just make like a snow plow and just try to plow in there. And I think the linemen like to do that kind of thing, and maybe that's a good way to start it for the linemen.
Now there's a turn. Adams still behind center, and he tosses it back to his running back, number 18, Gino Ramirez. Correction, Chance Prosperi. They have so many players in the PNG program, Patrick. There are a whole lot of double numbers. Chance Prosperi is one of the leading receivers on the team, and he carried it as a running back right there, got 2. And it is now 3rd down and 4. 4-man front for Marshall. Cole Crippen now taking the snap. Swings it out to the far sideline, and he gets a first down. Gets into the hands of Landon Ganeri. That moves the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Hiring Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsthiringauto.com.
Down and out tight pass play.
PNG is playing good, solid football thus far, and you know, if they get the first score on the board, you know this crowd's really going to get into it. Deep pass, far sideline, Pippen. Did he get it? Yes, he did. It's a completion right down there at the 5-yard line. And they're up so high, I don't know if that's Prosperi. I think it is. It is Chance Prosperi who made a horizontal to the ground catch and kept his hands under the football. They've got a 1st and goal at the 5.
Ball marked at the 6-yard line, 41-yard gain on the first down.
18.
You got the double number, that's what you said, yeah. So, yeah, and you know what, Roger, I don't know if you could describe the catch well enough. He dove for it, and he dived, and he hung on to the ball and touched the ground. But he hung on to it. What a catch. 42-yard play.
Spread formation. Crippen turns around, hands it off to Wynn. Isaac Wynn with his first carry of the game, and he gets to the 2-yard line, and then the Buffs defense pushes him back. Jordan Sample was a big part of that tackle. And there is a flag late. Now, I'm not sure what went on, but Donovan Jackson, who collaborated with Jordan Sample on the tackle, gets up, and there were players standing right close to each other. And somebody must have said something, and the flag went straight up, and I think they're going to call it on Donovan Jackson, and that'll make it first down again. Okay.
Number 10 on the offense. Unsportsmanlike. 11, 9 on the defense. Fouls offset. That is each player. Unsportsmanlike. Any substitute unsportsmanlike will go into the judgment.
Okay, so that was Greg Maxwell, our referee, and it was Donovan Jackson and also Landon Ganeri, both called for unsportsmanlike conduct. And if either one of them gets another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty during this game, they are out. 2nd down and goal from the 2. Full house backfield. Here's a sneak by PNG. Jay Adams took the snap and no signal yet. And he got within about a foot, I think, but he is short, and it's going to be 3rd and goal.
I tell you, it looked like you know how the Philadelphia Eagles are doing that. They got guys pushing the quarterback from
3rd down and goal.
That's what they did on that play.
And that used to be illegal, but now it's not. Again, full house backfield. One Marshall player moves. Adams sneaking. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown, PNG. 7:45 to go in the first quarter, and they crack the scoreboard first. This crowd is going to be rocking, and Marshall better answer this in a good, positive way. And you know, you mentioned the great crowd from PNG. It's certainly bigger than what Marshall has, but Marshall's brought a pretty good group. Some of them arrived late. Sandoval will try the extra point kick. And the snap is mishandled, and it will be foiled.
Fumble on the snap.
You got William Mitchell, also known as W.E. Mitchell, who flashed into the backfield, and he grabbed Sandoval, who had picked up the ball. It went through the hands of his holder, and I know who his holder is, Patrick. I got to look here. The holder is Reeves, Caden Reeves. So 6-0, Port Neches-Groves on top, and we'll be back after this from Archer Volkswagen.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
6-0 PNG, and Patrick has details on that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive.
The Indians go 6 plays, 59 yards in 2 minutes and 44 seconds.
Jacoby Banks, number 22, William Mitchell, or back
from Adams.
The big play, 42-yard strike down to Prospery that gave him the first and goal. Jacoby Banks into his end zone, says he's not going to bring it out. Takes a knee, and Marshall trailing 6-0 will need to get the momentum back. Well, I guess they need to get the momentum because really it's been Port Neches-Groves from the beginning, as the Buffs were stopped on a 3-and-out when they received the opening kickoff.
Yeah, so we got 59 yards total offense for PNG to 0 so far. For Marshall, they had the 3-yard gain, the incomplete pass, then the 3-yard loss. So as Roger said, let's see if they can get this thing going here with Davis at the helm here.
Jai Adrian Wortham is the running back to the right of Jordan Davis. And it's a fake to Wortham. Going around the left side is Davis trying to get to the edge, and he can't. He's brought down after a loss of a yard. You know, he's just, the Port Neches-Groves defensive line and linebackers are quicker than what he's been playing against.
Well, for sure. And then the other thing I was going to say is he did well.
No gain on the play. Second
back
and
to the line of scrimmage there. He did everything he could. Good job by PNG on the defense. Have a hard time running the ball right now so far.
2nd down and 10. Davis did get back to the line of scrimmage. Gives it off to Jai Adrian Wortham, running left, and he's dropped for a loss of 4. Oh my goodness, he was blown up. Nick Gardner. He read it all the way. I don't think he was blocked by anyone.
It makes you wonder because he barely got the handoff.
Loss of about 2. We'll bring up 3rd and 12.
Swarmed under, and they're going to looks like they're going to mark it for a 2-yard loss, but 3rd and 12. The Bucks.
So last week, Jordan Davis was 20 of 21. He was incomplete to Andre Feast on his first try. Throws a screen pass, but this is not going to do anything more than get him right back to where the line of scrimmage was, as it was Sean Gardner sniffing it out. So Nick Gardner with a tackle for the loss earlier on this series, and then Sean makes the play. A pair of brother linebackers, and Larry Benton comes on to kick it away again for the Marshall Buffs.
The Port Neches-Grove Indians,
Number 10, Landon
they
Gaderi,
look like
back
they
in to return
have a
5.
pretty good scouting report so far.
formation,
They've been all over every play.
And they also look very enthusiastic. High snap, but Benton has it, gets it away. It's a very short punt. I think somebody might have blocked it.
I think they did.
And it's going to end up being a punt of 1 yard. And did you see an official kind of make that signal of
I
they
did
didn't
not
block
see it, but the way it came out of there, it just went straight up almost. And it had to have been tripped there. I didn't see it.
On mark at the 25-yard line.
But like you said, Roger, in exactly a 1-yard punt, so we don't see that. How often do you see something like that? Not very. Wow.
Last week, Marshall came out firing, came out hot, making big plays on offense and defense. But so far, they've been flat. They've had 6 offensive plays that have netted nothing, and now at the 25-yard line, Cole Crippen drops back on 1st and 10. Here comes the rush, and the Buffs sack him.
Number 11, Cole Crippen
pushed the lineman into the feet of the quarterback, and he stumbled over. And I don't care how you make the sack. That was a very effective play, and it's like about 9-yard loss, Roger. That's a great way to start this defensive stand here.
And Logan Granville, I think also, when he fell back, he kind of hit Logan Granville, and then one of the Port Neches-Groves linemen, after the whistle, accidentally knocked Granville over and went over there and extended his hand and helped him up.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I like to see that. I'm kind of old school. I like to see good sportsmanship, at least some of the time. Give to Isaac Wynn, running right behind his blockers. And after that big loss of 8 yards on the previous play, or 8.5 yards, he picks up about 5. And so it's probably going to be a passing down for Cole Crippen and these Port Neches-Groves Indians on the season. And that includes the 13 games of the season. 141 out of 277 for Cole Crippen and 22 touchdowns.
Gain of 5 to the 28.
Third down and 13. He drops straight back. Here comes the rush. He steps up, throws a rainbow to the end zone, and it's over everybody and falls harmlessly incomplete. So what happens now, Patrick?
Well, you know, I don't know what kind of kicker they have, but if they're going to kick it,
Pass is incomplete.
40 yards. Well, close to 50 yards.
It'll be a 45-yarder, and who will they bring in?
Intended for number 18, Chance Prosper.
Yep, it's going to be Sandoval on the right hash mark. And based on what we see from the flags down at the right end of the stadium, he's got a little bit of a wind at his back.
The way he's been kicking off, he appears to have a pretty strong leg. So
45, Andre Sandoval on to attempt a 45-yard
trying to
field
expand the lead, which is 6-0 here in the first quarter, 4:50 to go. Good snap and hold, and the kick is on its way. It's got plenty of distance, and it's good. It's a two-score game, 9-0, PNG on top. And you got any Aqua Velva, Patrick? Because we need to go down there and give Marshall wake him up with a good cold slap in the face. The season is slipping away. They got to get the momentum. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the Back on the Road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Hey, Fort Bend County fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance Agency.
Bradley is my insurance man. He can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year on your car insurance, home insurance, or flood insurance, or all three like he did for me. And Bradley, you are as Fort Bend County as they come, right?
That's right, 4th generation here in the Needville area in Fort Bend County, taking care of folks over here for over 100 years here in Fort Bend County.
You can give him a call, you can go online, or he'll even come see you at the Needville Insurance Agency. Give him the number, Bradley.
979-793-7411.
Sandoval kicks off, and it's Jacoby Banks from deep in his end zone, going diagonally across the field, trying to get up the field near the 10, but he runs out of boundary, and he goes out of bounds only at the 12-yard line. And there was someone spying on him the whole time, and it was William Poole. So down by 9, no first downs for the Buffs, and they take over at their own 12-yard line.
I think he didn't want to take another touch back there, and he wanted to make something happen, get some momentum going or something. And unfortunately for Marshall, the Indians were having a pretty good job of coverage there.
You know, Marshall has a pretty good turnover ratio. It's +6, but PNG has the best in the district at +14. Davis fakes a handoff, runs forward, breaks through a tackle, and smashes ahead across the 20 to the 21, and that's about a 9-yard pickup. Jordan Davis, he runs heavy. I'll tell you what, when he hits a tackler, they feel it. Now a quick swing pass to Jacoby Banks. Makes a move, gets a first down, high steps, gets across the 40, still going, midfield, he may go. He's to the 40-yard line, looking for a block, still going, 30-yard line, near sideline, and still going upfield and out of bounds at the 24. That was like child's play, and that's the kind of play that Marshall can make with their devastating speed and maybe get the momentum back. And now they're going to play quickly. 1st and 10 from the 25 of PNG. There's a give to Haynes, getting his first carry of the football, and he only picks up 1.5 yards, trying the middle. Nothing was there because the hole was absolutely plugged up by Isaac Baker. 2nd down and 9, and they go without a huddle. Fake to Haynes. Davis moves to his right. And his mouthpiece comes out as he's dragged down after a gain of only 1.
He came out of that after that fake, and he was right at the line of scrimmage. He looked like he was going to pass it to the receiver over there who was bending. And I don't know if it was a fake or what, but he faked the pass at least. He ended up getting 2 yards on the play, but it was kind of interesting how he made that fake and kept the ball, and Roger mentioned his mouthpiece came out at the end. But 3rd and 7 here.
Cameron Drody tackled him, and it is a 3rd and 7. Half roll to the left. Davis gets through the pressure, still going. He's going to pull it down and run, fighting for the first down. He's got it. Got inside the 15, and did the ball come out at the end? Evidently not. So that is a first down for the Buffs. Think of First Tyrant Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttyrantauto.com.
That's a good run by Davis there. He kind of had to break a tackle, and then he ran into his own lineman, and then the last 2 yards, I think he drug a couple of the purple people across the line there for a first down.
Haynes still in there at running back to the left of Jordan Davis. Banks in motion, and they give it to Banks on the jet sweep. Hurdles a man. It was spectacular, but it only goes for about 3 yards down to the 12.
Yeah, he got up pretty high to hurdle the defender. You see that more and more these days, guys hurdling people. In my day, maybe back in your day, they told you not to leave your feet like that.
In fact, I think there was even a rule against hurdling. And now there is a timeout taken. It's one of the PNG players is injured. He's up on a knee, probably not very serious. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com. It is 9-0, but the Buffs are in the red zone.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Long Meadow, and 4 in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent.
The player came off okay. We'll ID him when we can. 2nd down and 8. Davis to pass, far sideline. Got it to Jacaden Ferguson. Short game to the 10. A pickup of just 3, and it's going to set up 3rd down and 5. Jacaden Ferguson, 2 touchdown catches last week against Lake Creek. Once unbeaten Lake Creek. And now PNG is starting to do its tomahawk chop, which I must say they were doing that a long time ago, maybe even before Florida State ever did it. See how the Buffs execute on 3rd down and 5 from the 10. Fake to Haynes. Davis keeps it, breaks a tackle near the line of scrimmage, and he picks up 3 or 4 of the yards he needed, but now it's going to be decision time for the Buffs. 4th down, and we'll call it 2 from the 7. And I don't think they're sending out the kicker.
They are not sending out the kicker, that's for sure. And Rogers, I'm still trying to identify who that player was that came off. I can't tell if it's a 2 or a 7. He's got his number kind of half tucked in and so on and so forth. But
I'll go with Torian Hinton. I think that's who it is.
Here we go.
Ball on the left hash as Marshall moves left to right. Fake to Banks. Running the other way is Davis. He's hit in the backfield and down he goes. PNG holds on downs. Nick Gardner grabbed the ankle of Jordan Davis and just yanked it out from under him. And down he went for a loss of a yard. And that turns the sticks around with 47 seconds to go in the first quarter. And the Buffs, if they want to capture the fair maiden, they got to make sure they're not faint of heart.
Yeah, that was, you got to give credit to PNG there. They came through on that 4th and 3. You would think with Davis keeping the ball there, you like your chances. But they were there, and he's about a yard short on that, wasn't he, Roger?
Yeah, he sure was. He needed 3 basically, or a long 2. But he was dropped for a loss of an extra yard. So now PNG has the momentum and the football. 1st and 10 from their own 8. Crippen turns around and gives it to Wynn. Wynn going off the right side, and he picks up 2. That's it. Stonewalled at the 10, and the Buffs push him back. By the way, you got Isaac Wynn in the backfield, but there's a real Old Testament feel to the PNG defense. They have 3 Isaacs, a Jacob, a Seth, a Jonah, and an Isaiah in the 2-deep chart.
I think they might be letting, and they're walking off, Roger. That is going to do it for the first quarter.
All right. So the Buffs have been punched in the mouth a couple of times. They better be ready for the second quarter. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com. It is 9-0.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, now up the stairs. We tried that last time. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
A long walk for both teams to, let's see, I guess it's the west end of the field. 2nd down and 8 for PNG from their 10-yard line. Cole Crippen with hand signals for his wide receivers. Drops back, steps up. Now he's flushed to the left. Here comes the rush. He gets rid of it late, and the pass is deflected and incomplete. And our broadcast is not brought to you by Chick-fil-A, but maybe it could be because Patrick just got some nice grub for, and that's nice. Thank you, Patrick.
Well, thank you, people up here who are getting it for us. 3rd down. Big play for Marshall to hopefully get some momentum here. Get this ball back. Good field position.
Brock Hebert is in there as a blocking back. Spread formation. Cole Crippen sends a man in motion. Takes the snap. And it's just a handoff off the right side, but this is going to be a 1st down or more across the 30-yard line, still going and out of bounds. And that worked out beautifully. Isaiah Wynn, I've been calling him Isaac Wynn. Sorry about that. So he's one of the minor prophets, not one of the early bloodline of the children of Israel. But the ball's at the 35-yard line. He just popped over the right side, and the PNG line completely closed down that side of the Marshall line. And give credit to Jackson Christian, big number 74. And he's just a sophomore, but that guy is huge. He cleared the way. He's the right guard. 1st down and 10 from the 35, and there goes Wynn straight ahead. Hit and gains only 3. Kai Guillory with a tackle for your Buffs. You know, the Buffs were facing a Lake Creek team last week that was averaging 56 points. And they held them to 18. And for the year, Marshall is averaging giving up 7 points per game, but PNG came up with more than that in the first quarter alone. It is 9-0. Crippen with a toss. Wynn going to the left, trying to get to the edge. He's hit hard, and that's a loss of a couple of yards. Wow, it was William Mitchell, and I see he goes by W.E. Mitchell.
He was tackled by number 44.
And there you go, and also Logan Granville got a piece of it. I think Granville kind of grabbed his feet, and
he got bent in half.
Yeah, Guillory hit him high while Granville had his feet anchored.
Another big 3rd down play. Got to hold him here. Get this ball back.
3rd down and 8. Joshua Lair had a big interception for Marshall last week. And now rolling to the right is Crippen, throws near the sideline and simply throws it away. Perfect coverage by the aforementioned Joshua Lair and also Paul Lucas. They had bracketed Landon Ganeri. And it's going to be time for Port Neches-Groves to punt. The first time that they've done that in this game. And Cole Crippen, their quarterback, is the guy who does the punting.
Well, they didn't stop him down at the inside the 15-yard line, but at least they stopped him here on this next down series. They're going to get the ball in fairly decent field position, trailing 9-0, as Roger had mentioned.
Andre Feast back to receive the punt. It's a low snap, but a pretty good kick comes out of there. And Feast is hit before the ball gets there, and a flag, double flags come in. This will definitely be a penalty on PNG. I didn't see who it was, but one of their gunners was going down the field, and if he had gotten there 0.3 of a second later, it would have been perfectly timed.
I'm not sure what the rule is now. Evidently, because in college it looks like you could do what he just did. But maybe he was there just, like you said, what did you say, 0.3 of a second?
Well, yes, that's my semi-precise timing without an electronic stopwatch. So it's a 15-yard penalty on the hit. Feast is okay, and the Marshall Buffs offense will go back out there.
I wonder if they've had a game this year where they've gone this deep into the game without points.
Probably not. Jai-Adrian Wortham running right on the first play of this series. And he gets 5, takes it to the 48-yard line. Make it the 49. And it's big number 6, Nick Gardner. I say big, he's not really that big of a player, but he certainly plays big. Super quick. Davis looks at the defense. Fakes it to Wortham, keeps it going right, got a first down and more. Across the 40-yard line, got the sideline, still going, tripped up, and goes down just outside the 20. You know what I think might have happened there? I think it's possible that Feast was trying to give him one last clearing block, and he might have tripped him inadvertently.
Yeah, he just tripped up there on the sideline. Looked like he might go all the way, 20-yard line.
And there's a give. Up the middle goes Wortham, spins and picks up 4. Well, underneath it all, dropping him was Sean Gardner.
The last 2 drives now, Marshall seems to kind of be getting into their flow here. They've picked the pace has picked up, and they've moved the ball well. Now they got to get points on the board here.
And if this isn't a huge play, I'll make another observation that kind of makes you think of that. On 2nd down and 6, Davis throwing end zone. Feast jumps up. He's got the catch. He's got the touchdown. 16-yard touchdown pass to the sophomore Andre Feast, who opened the Marshall scoring last week and opens the scoring tonight.
Yeah, he was open again. He was open by a good 5 yards and deep in the end zone. The only thing was making sure he got his feet down, and he certainly did. No problem there.
Well, he did, but his heels were the only part of him that stayed inside the boundary, and the rest of him sprawled, but he was very happy. Diaz on to add the extra point. It's up, and it's good. Marshall is now within 2. It's the Indians 9 and the Buffs 7. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com with a little historical perspective.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
The Buffs score first in the second quarter to trail 9-7, and Patrick with details on the Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive.
This is more like the Marshall Buffs. 4 plays, 54 yards, culminated by a 16-yard touchdown pass from Davis to Feast, and they're on the board. They're only trailed by 2. It was 1:17 as far as the amount of time on that drive. So that's what we're used to, especially from last week, huh?
And since Christmas is coming, I guess I should say that oftentimes the Marshall Buffs will take on an opponent and they will feast. But Port Neches-Groves says we're going to be the ones that will be most satisfied at the end of this football meal. Now Diaz with the kick. And it comes down at the 10-yard line in the hands of Ganeri. and he goes up the left hash marks, and he gets across the 20 to the 24.
Number 10, landing an area.
Larry Benton makes the tackle for the Buffs, and we'll see if the defense is inspired by that touchdown. So, Patrick, what I was going to say, while Marshall still had the football, they have eliminated the Indians from the playoffs 3 times. The Indians really gave them a scare in 2020. That was a close by-district loss when the 2 teams weren't in the same district. But there was a game these 2 teams played at Stallworth Stadium when Roshan Johnson was the star for PNG. It looked like PNG was playing well enough to win the game, but somehow Marshall was ahead. And this game has a strange swing of momentum thus far as Wynn carries on the first down play, and he picks up 2, gets to the 26-yard line on the tackle for your Marshall Buffs, Zachary Chapman.
Well, you can kind of feel the tide turning here right now.
No gain on the play.
Port Neches-Groves has not really moved the ball well here the last couple series. Let's see if they can get something out of this particular drive. But like you said, hopefully the Buffs defense is inspired here.
There goes Wynn running left again. And he's got a pretty decent gain. It looked like it was going to be minimal, and he carries it all the way out to the 33-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd down and 1.
So just when I say that, they come up with a good play there of 8 yards, making it a manageable 3rd and 2 here. Good game so far, midway through the second quarter.
PNG just has a huge offensive line, so it's not as if Marshall is small, and Marshall is a pretty fearsome defensive line themselves, but you can't get through the gaps as easy against PNG. Crippen throws short and throws over his first option and gets a first down catch as he delivers it to Shea Adams at the 48-yard line. It moves the sticks. Think your First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
Well, it did look like it was overthrown. The receiver, he was going to, but there was a guy behind him.
And you know what? The Buffs had not really covered Shea Adams on the play. They reacted to that initial pump, and if the pass had been more on target, Adams would have scored.
Yeah, because he had to go to the ground to maintain possession.
Crippen turns around and hands it off. And this time it is to Shea Adams, who is picked up and thrown down, and it's only a pickup of 2. And it was W.E. Mitchell who picked him up. And I won't say he set him down gently, but he didn't throw him down like a wash rag either.
He had him lifted up in the air. And I don't know how gently he brought him down. Looks like they're going to give him 3 yards on that.
2nd and 7 from the Marshall 48.
Wynn comes back in at running back. He's standing to the left of Cole Crippen. 2 receivers on the left side of the formation, 1 to the right. Crippen play fake, steps up into the pocket collapsing, and down he goes. It's a sack for Corin Randalls of the Marshall Buffs, and I believe that is his first sack of the postseason, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a big play. Looked like the quarterback could have possibly gotten rid of that ball. He saved the sack. Crippen hung on to it just a little bit too long. Fortunately for the Buffs, then, they were able to get to him, and that's a big loss of 5 yards.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
Now 4 receivers in the pattern. Crippen drops back, steps up, and throws late over the middle, and the pass is swatted down, but a flag comes in. It's going to be Prosperi, the intended receiver, and they're going to call interference on Paul Lucas, who cannot believe the call. And his teammates need to calm him down so he doesn't do anything to draw one of those dead ball fouls that add to the game.
Well, that's a tough one. He got his hand in there to knock it away, the hand in front. I didn't really see what he was doing with his backhand or his other hand. Maybe he was grabbing the jersey, I don't know, but sure, from up here it looked like a good play, didn't it, Roger?
It did, and there are times when you're kind of reaching around to bat a ball down, but I think maybe you have to do things that are simply physically impossible to do without making any contact with the hand that's not swatting the ball down.
Right.
Here goes Wynn over the left side. They give him good daylight, and he picks up 6. He advances to the 32-yard line, and the Buffs have probably had more trouble against this offensive line than any that they've seen thus far this year. Zachary Chapman, a TCU commit, makes the tackle, but it's 2nd and 4.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Port Neches-Groves here. They're doing a pretty good job here maintaining possession, especially on this particular drive.
They are consuming a lot of clock as well. 2nd down and 4. Crippen with a toss to Shea Adams. He's going to throw it. Man is wide open. Caught. Touchdown, PNG. Landon Ganeri was wide open. The Buffs sold out to stop the run, and with 5 minutes left in the first half, PNG has scored again. And they lead this game by a score of 15-7 with the extra point to come.
Well, that was a great play. You could tell something was up when the way he pitched it deep into the backfield, and then Adams, it was Shea Adams, correct?
That's right.
He made that pass, and he laid it up there nice and perfectly for him.
There have been some issues with the place kick snaps, but a good job by Caden Reeves. He's gotten the ball on the tee a couple of times, once during that 45-yard field goal, and right there for the extra point kick. 5 minutes to go in the half. We'll have the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show, and we'll have a great guest. We'll tell you about that after this. This is VypeFortBend.com. It is 16-7.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Sandoval to kick it off for PNG. It's a bit of a pop-up kick. Comes down at the 22-yard line. Andre Feast grabs the ball and sits down. So the Marshall Buffs, finding themselves trailing by 9 once again, will send the offense back out there. Patrick with details on that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive.
8 plays, 76 yards. Took them 3 minutes and 55 seconds. But the big play of the drive was that pass interference call on 3rd down and 12, which enabled them to get the first down, and then they took advantage of it. Give them credit. And the pass play was a 33-yard pass play from Shea Adams to, who was that to? That was to Ganeri. Okay, and then so it was a halfback option pass. Great play.
All right, so here come the Buffs, and they have kind of a funky formation with 4 receivers to the right side, but they're not all bunched together. They're kind of spread out. And now he hands it off on a jet sweep, getting out of the backfield and getting a good gain. It's George Kirkland down the far sideline, cutting back to the middle of the field. He may go all the way. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Buffs. Oh my goodness. The sophomore wide receiver George Kirkland takes it the distance. 78 yards, and it won't be hard to calculate that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive. Oh, what speed he has. We're looking at the replay board here at Galena Park ISD Stadium.
What a play, and it was, like you said, a funky formation, and there were a couple of PNG defenders who looked like they were going to get him. Once he got around those 2 guys, here's the kick. It's good.
The Diaz kick is good, and you know, I need to point out that Kirkland started on the near side of the formation. He wasn't one of the 4 guys over there.
Right, he was the lone receiver on the left side. And I got to say, I wish I'd have got a couple numbers. There was some really good downfield blocking by a couple of those receivers. And then he made a cutback against the grain. And once he made that cutback, you could tell there was nobody going to catch him.
By the way, we'll just stay right here, Patrick, as the score is now 16-14 following the extra point kick. The Thurgood Marshall High School flag team is complete. You know, when we were doing that game last week on Friday, they only had 4 guys to carry the flags, and it said Buff, not Buffs.
Right.
But now the guy that holds the flag that has an S on it, and you know, I shouldn't say guys because James Williams, the head coach of the Buffs, his daughter, Janai, graduated from Marshall last year, was part of a state championship track and field team, and his daughter was one of those that ran down the field with the flags, and there were no boys on the flag running team that could run faster than Janai.
I wonder if they call what they call them, the flag running team. That could be what they call them.
And here's the kickoff by Diaz. He angles it toward the far sideline, and it comes down at the 18. It's Prosperi moving to the near side. He's got a seam, gets across the 35 to the 40, and he goes out of bounds at the 45, and a flag comes in late. I think they're going to get one of the Buffs for hitting out of bounds, but I don't know that this is truly fair because it seems to me that, and by the way, it was Landon Ganeri returning the kick. I said Prosperi, it was Ganeri. And I think sometimes the guy can run out of bounds and kind of initiate contact. There was a little bit of a shove there, but I don't know that it warranted that, and it was a one-handed shove.
Okay, so he did make a little bit of a push. He definitely did it, but like you said, Roger, it was minor. It was really not. I mean, he was probably 3 yards out of bounds, but they kind of ran into each other. He kind of just gave him a little nudge, and we've seen much worse than that not called.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that one came out, but Neches-Groves got the benefit of that.
There's so many Indians players along the sideline, someone's going to break your fall anyway. And there is the handoff again to Isaiah Wynn, running left, and he perseveres, and he gets 5 when it looked like he was only going to get 2.
I don't know how he got 5 yards there.
Did he crawl? I think that's against the rules.
They marked him for a 2-yard gain. He must have just somehow.
Well, he crawled. He got 3 and then crawled for an extra 2. But you know, you can't blame him.
Why not?
Something that Pete Banaszak would have done for the Raiders back in the day.
Number 40?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's Marv Old
Hubbard.
Mother Hubbard.
Yep.
2nd down and 7. Crippen fakes the handoff, gets it out of his hand quickly, throws for a first down, gets it inside the 30 to the 28, and he finds his favorite target, Landon Ganeri. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
It was a really nice play. They did a real quick pass to Ganeri, and then he was able to get up to the first down. I'm not sure how he fell. It almost looked like he lost his footing right there at the 30, and but they did get the first down.
Yeah, they actually shorted him, I thought, a couple of yards, but they mark it at the 30, and it is a first down. And the Buffs need to come up with a defensive play. 4-man defensive front. Crippen fakes the handoff, rolls to the left. He's got some yardage, 5, and goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Hot on his heels was Elijah Sims, but that's going to make it 2nd down and a very manageable 5. And now a flag comes in out 6-7 seconds after Crippen went off the field.
It's in the Marshall defensive area, and Marshall looks like they're walking back. I don't know what this is, but I want to just say that was a really good fake by Cole Crippen. He faked the handoff, and he stood in the backfield. He just stood there. We're going to get the call here.
Yes.
Number 11.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Ryan Simpson of the Marshall Buffs, and those penalty yards are starting to mount up.
Yeah, those are tough because they got a good gain on the play, 5 yards, but this marches it all the way down to the 13. And got a first down, obviously.
Down to the 13-yard line.
Marshall, you might say they've lost their composure a little bit here a couple of times.
And Simpson was not really part of that play. He was at his safety position. And here we go, 1st and 10 from the 13 after the penalty is marked off, and there goes Wynn off the right side, running tough.
Number 33, Isaiah
Gets
Wynn, the ball
from the
carrier. Moves the ball
13
down
to the 8.
about the
A
9-yard
5-yard
line.
pickup. It seems like Isaiah Wynn is good for 5 yards
Number
just about every
13,
time they give it to
Paul
him.
Lucas, and number
And they
26,
bring in some
Joshua
extra
Bear on the
bulk.
stop.
You know,
I think they're going to go with that power eye.
With Wynn, Isaiah Wynn, he
4-yard
doesn't look
gain, and we got a 2nd and
spectacular.
6.
He doesn't look, like he's gliding or anything. He's just a tough runner.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
All right, here we go. Huge play. 16-14, PNG leads it. Their fans rise to their feet with 1:43 to go in the half. They have a 3rd and 7, just inside the Marshall 10. Crippen takes the snap, throws to his right, near the end zone. Goal line, touchdown. Chance Crosby makes the catch, and he victimized Paul Lucas, who hadn't really looked around for the football. And Crosby went up and got it inside the pylon. And the Indians are back on top by 2 scores.
What a pass. It was a simple play. He just stepped back, threw it up over there to Crosby, and he did a great job of catching at the high point in front of the defender, and he was right at the goal line. He just stepped into the end zone. Nice job by PNG.
And I spoke too soon. It's not 2 scores until the extra point kick is up and good, which it is by Sandoval. Now it's a 2-score game. 23-14 with 1:34 to go in the half. Remember, the Buffs will not be receiving the kickoff that starts the 3rd quarter. So if the Indians can keep the Buffs off the board when we come back, then they'll be in good shape to start the 2nd half.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We're back at Galena Park ISD Stadium in Rocky, the original. Apollo's trainer said to Apollo, he doesn't know this is a blankety-blank show. He thinks this is a blankety-blank fight. Not to say that the Marshall Buffs didn't think they'd be in for a fight tonight, but Sandoval and the Port Neches-Groves Indians have been giving the Buffs all they want. It's a pop-up kick. It's Feast from the 30. He only returns it for just 1 yard, and hustling on down, Mason Winchell, the sophomore backup linebacker, who's going to be a good one when he gets his chance to start, brings him down. And they do mark him at the 31-yard line, so the Buffs have 1:29 to get it 69 yards down the field. So do you have some information on that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive?
Yes, PNG, 6 plays, 40 yards, 2 minutes and 58 seconds. They were aided by a penalty again. It's the 2nd drive in a row that they've gotten a touchdown, but they also got a big turnover penalty that helped them. 40 yards in 2 minutes and 58 seconds.
Penalties have figured prominently. Now there are 4 receivers to the right. Jordan Davis, empty backfield, takes the snap, drops back, looks down the middle for Jacaden Ferguson. Now he keeps it, puts a move on a man, and runs forward for 9 yards. Out of bounds at the 40. It's 2nd and 1, and that only used 9 seconds.
Yeah, he really, he runs. It almost looks effortless. He just gets out there and One of the men fell down, as you said. That helped him get out there to that 9-yard gain. Good start to the drive.
And he fell down because Davis put a move on him. But Davis can put you down with a devastating stiff arm, too. 5 receivers in the pattern. And there's a flag. I think one of them was offside, and they blow the play dead. And I think that is going to change it from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 6. Here's Greg Maxwell. It was indeed Jai Adrian Wortham had his helmet sticking across the line of scrimmage as he was in his stand-up position before the play.
Please put 1 minute and 20 seconds. Please reset the clock for 1 minute and 20 seconds.
And you hear Greg Maxwell, the referee, saying to add enough seconds to the clock where it's 1:20.
Well, we certainly know that Marshall's capable of scoring here with this much time.
We got a guy offside again. And maybe the player shifted the football forward. Davis hands it off up the middle, and that goes for next to nothing. Jai Adrian Wortham just won. He was wrapped up quickly. It was Seth Landry who grabbed his feet. And it's 3rd down and 5.
Wortham has had a hard time tonight. He hasn't had much room to run. And on that play was another example. 3rd and 5. The clock under a minute to play here in a half.
And the Buffs have 3 timeouts, but they're not using any of them yet. We're under a minute to go. They still don't have their hands on the ground and ready to run the play. The clock is at 45 seconds. And now they're going to take a timeout, and we'll take it with them on VypeFortBend.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time. No. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
3rd down and 5 for the Buffs, trying to keep this drive going. Davis rolls to his right, looks back over the middle. Here comes the rush. He's fighting. He gets only 1 yard. That's all he got. The spy, Peyton Broom, brought him down. And with 28 seconds left on the clock, PNG has 2 timeouts, but they're not using one yet.
Bring up 4th and 4.
I kind of like what they're doing. I mean, hey, we're going to get the ball to start the second half. Smart, up by 9.
Well, there's no need for Marshall to punt the football if PNG doesn't stop the clock. But what an ovation from this Port Neches-Groves partisan crowd on the south side of Galena Park ISD Stadium. Their team is leading 23-14 as we go to the locker room for halftime. We, not Patrick and me, but the teams. And I want to tell you about our Next Level Urgent Care halftime show. Patrick, we talk a lot about the chain gang. Not so much the chain gang doing a poor job, but there's no technology there. You just have a couple of fiberglass poles and you have a chain to figure out how far a team needs to go for a first down.
Exactly. I mean, it's nice that there's no technology yet, but I think it's coming.
Except when they're inaccurate. I guess I feel that way about balls and strikes in baseball when you see a pitch that was never in the strike zone, never came close, and it's called a strike, and sometimes strikes are called balls, and we're probably going to have automated balls and strikes called throughout Major League Baseball within a couple of seasons. It's going to
take a lot away from the game. Go ahead, Roger.
Well, it's going to take a lot away from the game, but a ball will be a ball and a strike will be a strike. It won't matter how hot it is. It won't matter if the umpire's mad at the batter, mad at the pitcher.
The way you were were going, we're going to just have video games for the sport.
No, it's still players playing. But the point is,
yes. What is about
our guest is Mike Foster of a company called LaserDown.
Okay.
And he's come up with technology, and it's not as if it's brand new. It's actually been in use during games at the state championship level at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, and the Buffs, when they played Aledo in 2019, the LaserDown system was in use, so you can spot the football when there's a clear first down, and you can actually check to see, did the ball really exceed the knee or get to the line to gain for a first down. So Mike Foster is a great guy. He's got a great product to sell, and we're going to talk to him when we continue on the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show, and we'll have some scores for you as well. Don't go anywhere.
Taylor Jones, Chloe Parker, and Nathaniel Pierre.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Texas for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Mystics are being led onto the field by Mystics Dancing Odyssey Captain Kenitra Bradford.
Football fans, don't miss the UIL State Football Championship experience at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington in December. Come out for an action-packed 4 days, Wednesday the 14th through Saturday the 17th, and see the best teams in all divisions battle it out in the final games of the season. Tickets and information about how you can get an all-tournament pass can be found at uiltexas.org. We'll be back with Rick Foster of LaserDown when we continue on VypeFortBend.com.
Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional at 281-712-8777 or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, member FINRA SIPC, investment advisory through Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. CFP is a certification mark owned by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, Incorporated. This mark is awarded to individuals who successfully complete the CFP Board's initial and ongoing certification requirements. Welcome everybody to the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show. Glad to have you with us. And
It's playoff time, and there's something that's going to be on display at the UIL State Championship football games, as it has been the past 4 years, and it's a great new piece of technology. We're going to talk about it with Mike Foster of LaserDown. And Mike, I'm excited to talk to you about your new technology, although it's not brand new. You've been using it a few years.
We have. It's been out since about 2018. We started with Notre Dame, University of Nebraska, Tulane, and then my son's high school in Bloomington, Illinois. So that's where we started, and it just kind of caught fire after that.
Now, the thing I have to say, this is kind of frustrates me in high school football. You'll see a clear first down is made, and of course you set the chains where somebody at the sideline is eyeballing it and making sure that the down box and the front chain are right where they need to be. And sometimes a team will gain about 10 yards, and every once in a while the officials just say, it's close enough, just go ahead and wave them down the field. And I don't want the game to go on forever because of measurements, but your technology means we can very precisely find where the nose of the football is and set the chains.
It does, and what we've actually done is eliminate the need for measurements. That's the feedback that we've gotten from officials, because they can see it, they set that, and it gives that immediately in increments of yard, foot, or inch. So it goes, our default is 6 inches, and so if it's closer than 6 inches, they can see that it's there and it's clearly not mated, and so it actually speeds the game up because we haven't had very many times where they've had to bring the chains in the field.
I'm very happy to hear that. There's so many parts of football where they have integrated one technology or another, but after all these decades of football, more than a century, of course, you've still got chains in most places, and I even saw a couple of places there was a rubber band in the chain. That was not good at all. But how did this start? How did you kind of discover it, and whose idea was it? Maybe yours, to say, we could make a real revolution in football this way.
Well, the truth of the matter is, yes, it is mine. I'm a recovering football coach. So I coached for 30 years. My wife, we lived in 5 states, made 13 moves in 30 years. She got tired of moving, so she said, I'm going back to Kansas City, where our grandkids were at the time, 2 of them anyway, and we have 16 now. But so I started working on this, and that's basically where it came, because I knew that there had to be a better idea, because I was on 8 different staffs. Every staff that I was on, we do a post-mortem on Sunday morning, and it was always the same thing. The communication between the press box, the field, the sideline, and then the field to the players. And so it was just, you didn't give me the call soon enough. I had to call a timeout. We got a penalty, whatever it happens to be, and I knew there had to be a better way of doing it. So it was just through 30 years of frustration that I came up with it.
So we're talking with Mike Foster of LaserDown, and it's not just the precision of spotting the football and setting the chains. There's so much more to this system that he has devised, and we're going to talk about it more on the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show when we continue.
Hey, Fort Bend County fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance Agency.
Bradley is my insurance man. He can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year on your car insurance, home insurance, or flood insurance, or all 3 like he did for me. And Bradley, you are as Fort Bend County as they come, right?
That's right, 4th generation here in the Needville area in Fort Bend County, taking care of folks over here for over 100 years here in Fort Bend County.
You can give him a call, you can go online, or he'll even come see you at the Needville Insurance Agency. Give him the number, Bradley.
979-793-7411.
What is Vype Live? Vype Live is one of the largest and most respected broadcast and live stream networks in the state of Texas. Vype Live broadcasts any sport you can think of for youngsters of any age, from Pee Wee and Pop Warner to high school, club, college, semi-pro, and beyond. We also broadcast plenty of academic, fine arts, and community-related events as well, and now as partners with Flow Sports. Email us at info@vypemedia.com to find out more. Vype Live. We bring your teams to you.
Back on the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show with Mike Foster of Laserdown. And you told us just a moment ago how that you can precisely spot the football and you can set the chains using technology. There's not, oh, they didn't mark it right. There's none of that problem anymore. But what are some other aspects to your Laserdown system that make watching and keeping the stats on a football game much more easy to do?
Well, besides giving you the instant feedback, yard, foot, or inch, it also improves the game day strategy and communication between the coaches and the players, for broadcasters, for television, whatever you may want. Prime example of that, they used us in the USFL this year, and we had 0 measurements where they had to actually take the chain out and everything. Now, they had another system where they had a chip in the ball when it got real close, and they utilized that, but the USFL was ecstatic because it gave everybody the same information at the same time, and it was instantaneous, and so we got a lot of positive feedback from that part of it.
And the USFL, even way back when in the 80s, they were always known for making advancements in technology and so forth. What are some other applications that come with Laserdown system?
Well, it also just helps the officials on the field because it's a lot quicker. It speeds up the game, and they can see what it is. Our system actually rounds up, and I'm not going to try to get too deep into the weeds, but if it's 4.5 yards, it'll actually say 5. So if there's an offsides or somebody jumps or something like that, they know that they don't have to measure, they can immediately move it. So the officials like it too. And then just from a communication, they're not always having to signal with hand signals now because everybody can look over and see that it's 4th and whatever it is, and so they can anticipate the types of plays and everything from their film study that they actually do, at least at the collegiate and professional level.
It sounds like your system makes a lot of people happy. It makes the competitors happy, the coaches who coach those competitors happy, and the officials who administrate it, and the people who facilitate information. And I can see that you also are making everyone happy in the spelling of your company's name. Some people spell laser with an S. Some people spell laser with a Z, and you've spelled it Lazser. So if people are just interested in finding out more about this, where should they go? Is there a phone number or a website? How should they go about that?
Yes, they can go to the website. There's a method in the madness. That's what pops up first. That's why I did that. It's all marketing, but LAZSERDOWN.com is our website. They can go there, or they can call us directly at 816-645-6151, and we also have a Facebook page, Laserdown. So on any of those, they can get in contact with us, and we'll get a hold of you that day.
So we've already had a Fort Bend team that was close to your technology because the Marshall Buffs went to 2 state championship games within the last 4 years. And so I didn't even know that your equipment was on the field at that time. So I was way up using binoculars, of course, to look down and try and see what was going on the field. Unfortunately, Marshall didn't get the victory that day, but we're going to see it again on the week before Christmas at AT&T Stadium. Any improvements to your system for this year? Anything different?
We always are in, our system is never finished. I tell everybody we're in constant R&D, and a lot of the ideas that we do are incorporated each year because now we have the system in place. It's simply just a software deal. So all the improvements and any suggestions we get, I've got a great Barry Vanetta, BB Systems, that does a great job with this, and he says, yeah, I can do that, and then he sends me a little bill for $500 or whatever, and the system's better. But yes, we've always, doing stuff. Quick, for instance, we have 5 levels of lighting. We're completely waterproof, lightest on the market. And our holes underneath are bigger to stick gloved hands in. We got that from the University of Nebraska because it gets a little cold up there, and so et cetera. So we're in constant R&D. It's always changing. So I have no idea what it's going to have here in a couple of weeks.
And for those of you in Rio Linda, R&D means research and development. And I guess you have to know, because you're a football guy and you're from Kansas City, the old film of Super Bowl IV where they mic'd Hank Stram and you hear him saying to the officials, "You marked it good, you marked it good. No, you lost your place." So that was hilarious, but I guess that's kind of going to be in the dustbin of history if someday every football field in the country has laser down equipment on it.
Yes, it will, and we're looking forward to that. I'm old enough that I was around to watch that game. In fact, I was old enough to watch the first one between the Chiefs and Packers. But yeah, we're going to put that to pasture.
And speaking of your hometown, Kansas City, I know that you have to have gotten some notoriety. Is that necessarily bad? Notoriety is just fame, right?
As long as it's not in the post office, your picture, it's all notoriety is good.
Okay, so you live in Kansas City. Have you gotten a chance to meet young Pat Mahomes?
I have not. I would love to. He is great. I'm so grateful for Texas Tech and also White House High School that he is now part of Kansas City and firmly entrenched there.
Yeah, I remember that that Super Bowl IV that we talked about was 50 years before they won the Super Bowl again, and I remember my all-time best friend, Eddie Skinner. We met in second grade. He was telling me the Chiefs were going to crush the Vikings, and I thought he was wrong. A lot of people thought he was wrong, but he turned out to be right, and we to this day are still great friends. So I'll say hi to Eddie for you. You say hi to Pat Mahomes if you ever get a chance to meet him.
I certainly will. I'm looking forward to that day, and I appreciate the opportunity to come on with you right here before the state championship season.
Well, Mike, it is great to see you again. It was great seeing you back in July at the Texas High School Coaches Association Convention in San Antonio. It was great to meet you, and thanks for remembering us.
Well, now you're going to know where to train your binoculars from the high-ups of Texas Stadium down there, Jerry Stadium.
And you may know that Brad Sham is the awesome play-by-play announcer for the Cowboys. He has his own booth. That's good. It's got a little plaque on the door. I even got to announce in there, except it's up in the corner, Mike.
I know. I've seen where it is there. If you ever come to Arrowhead and you get to see Patrick play, it's the Lynn Dawson booth. And no, it's not in the corner. It's more toward the middle of the field. So with Mitch Holtis.
Keep pumping it in there, Lenny. Just matriculating the ball down the field, boys. That's Hank Stram from Super Bowl IV. Anyway, Mike Foster, a great visit. Thank you so much. And all the best to Laser Down. And thank you for doing something that really improves football for everybody involved, including the fans.
I really appreciate the opportunity, Roger. It's been great today, and I'm looking forward to the state championship games here.
Very nice. We'll be back with more on the Next Level Urgent Care halftime show when we continue. This is VypeFortBend.com.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUC APP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
This year is Hunter Van Haverbeek.
All right, Roger Smith and Patrick Kinnick back with you here at Galena Park ISD Stadium. It's halftime, and your Marshall Buffs are down 23-14. And Patrick, as devastating as a long touchdown can be, and the Buffs did have a touchdown drive that lasted one play, and it was 78 yards. Sometimes that's not what you need. You need to give your defense a chance to get off the field for a while. So after the Buffs got that touchdown that got them within 16-14, which, by the way, was a long, it was a long run by George Kirkland, who took the ball on a jet sweep. All of a sudden, the Buffs defense was back out there, and PNG had another long executed drive, scored late in the first half. They've got this 9-point lead. They get the ball to start the third. I'm talking too much.
No, it's kind of like when you, you run a kickoff back. You just let a team score, then you run the kickoff back, but your defense has to come right back out on the field. And I think that's what happened, Roger, because not that you don't want to score, but PNG did a good job of controlling the ball the rest of the half.
And Marshall has won its 3 playoff games prior to this evening by a combined 160-25, but this is a much different game that they're having to play here tonight. And Coach Williams has said many times that he really feels like if his team plays their fundamentally sound and disciplined football game, then they'll be fine. Well, I agree with him, but they haven't been all that disciplined. They've gotten some of those penalties that are completely unnecessary that have helped push the PNG Indians along on their drives, and you just got to make sure you don't help them out. I mean, they're doing pretty well on their own, but you don't want to help them out.
Well, they certainly got the benefit of 2 big penalties on their last 2 drives. I'm talking about PNG, the beneficiaries of 2 15-yard penalties. It was a pass interference call that we were a little bit questioning, and then the other one was the unsportsmanlike conduct. And you talked about discipline, and that's when you don't have discipline on those unsportsmanlike conducts. It looks like you got some scores over there.
I got some scores, and I've been using this Dave Campbell's Texas Football app, and I'm putting it on a 200-mile radius. So I'll be able to get most of the games that I want, but I want to congratulate the Edna Cowboys. Do you know where Edna is, Patrick?
I do not.
I don't know if it's in Brazoria County or Wharton County, but it's down there to the south of Sugar Land and Missouri City, and the Edna Cowboys defeated the Llano Yellow Jackets 40-21, so they advance on in their bracket of the playoffs. And so I want to say that because, number one, I feel good for my good friend Rosie Callis. I know she roots for Edna. But also there's the Llano Yellow Jackets. We had Ashley Pickle of High School Scoreboard Live who joined us as a halftime guest a few weeks ago, and I feel bad for Ashley because I like Llano. I've enjoyed staying there when I was making late night drives from San Angelo to Houston, and I just had to stop somewhere. Llano was the place to stop. All right, and congratulations to another good friend of mine, Diana Diaz. She is a proud alumna of the Cuero High School. The Cuero Gobblers beat Silsbee 58-56 in NRG Stadium tonight.
58-56?
58-56, and I was on my way to this stadium passing NRG, and I had no idea. I suppose that game must have started at 6 p.m.
Did they decide to play a basketball game instead, or what?
Well, it sure looks that way.
Holy mackerel.
All right. Wow, what a game is going on down in Region 4 of Class 6A, Division 1, I believe. It's the Dripping Springs Tigers and the Austin Vandegrift Vipers, all tied at 17 at halftime. At halftime, DeSoto Eagles are leading the Killeen Harker Heights teams 47-17. DeSoto over Harker Heights. That's a halftime score. That is Class 6A. And frankly, I don't know if it's Division 1 or Division 2. Corpus Christi Calallen is down to the Bernie Greyhounds 28-12, and that is in Class 4A. Bernie 28, Corpus Christi Calallen 12, with 6:50 to go in the second quarter of that one. And how about this, Patrick? Second quarter, 9:20 to go, and Katy is ahead of CE King, but only by a score of 28-27.
Wow.
Katy 28, CE King 27, with 1:02 to go before halftime in that game.
A lot of offense there.
Now here's one I know you've been waiting for. The Poth Pirates, P-O-T-H. Poth as in both. Poth leads Tidehaven 9-6 with 8:07 to go in the third.
Wow. I wonder if you could tell me the locations of those two schools.
Well, let me get back to you on that one, okay? All right, the Timpson Bears lead Cooper 13-7. I believe that is Lubbock Cooper. And Timpson is a really good team, so Cooper giving them a heck of a game right now. The Shiner Comanches are having trouble with the Refugio Bobcats. That's a great game down near Corpus Christi way. Third quarter, 5:25 to go. Shiner 14 and Refugio 13. Galena Park North Shore, the team that calls this stadium their home. They lead Humble Atascocita 24-7. And the rest of the games that I'm looking for are going to be tomorrow. That includes Austin Westlake against San Antonio Brennan, Smithson Valley against College Station, the Westfield Mustangs in Class 6A Division II taking on Duncanville tomorrow at 3 o'clock in Georgetown, and that's about it. We're ready for the kickoff. And as we mentioned earlier, the Buffs have to kick it away. And so they have to get a good series from their defense, maybe get a turnover. That would be very helpful for the Buffs' cause as they trail it 23-14. And the winner of this one is going to play either Corpus Christi Flower Bluff or Liberty Hill in the state semifinal next Friday. Diaz to kick it off, as Marshall will be going from left to right here in the third quarter, and PNG would love to add a score. They're already up by 9, and they played basically a perfect half except for one defensive lap. And it's a pop-up kick, goes down to the 37-yard line, and Mason Stotts calls fair catch for PNG. That's where the Indians will take over.
Good job by the receiving man there to call for that fair catch. Mason Stotts, it's kind of hard to believe how short that kick was. It didn't go very far. Good field position for PNG to start the third quarter.
The Buffs are in their 6th regional final in 7 years. And there is a give to Isaiah Wynn. Plenty of room up the middle, across the 50 and down to the 42-yard line. A terrible start for the third quarter by the Buffs. Saving a touchdown perhaps was Donovan Jackson. And it's that big physical offensive line of the PNG Indians, and they line up quickly. Give to Wynn again over the right side. He keeps on pushing, gets inside the 40, down to the 37. And that is 7 more yards. By the way, Wynn is really not a gifted runner, but man, does he have a great line behind which to run. And I noticed as I was watching the Buffs practice on Wednesday, their defense was going up against PNG with very little split room between the feet of the linemen that were running the scout team.
That's what they look like up there right now out there.
There goes Wynn again. They keep feeding Isaiah, and he gets inside the 30 to the 27. That's a gain of 7 more yards. More than that, actually.
12,
it's more like 11. And a first down at the 27. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Patrick, they've had the ball for 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Yep.
And they've run 3 plays. They did start at the 37, which was good field position, but now they have it at the 27 of the Buffs. Crippen takes the snap. Let the big dog eat. Well, this time Wynn is hit at the line of scrimmage and thrown down. Jordan Sample getting the tackle for maybe a loss of 1, and Sample makes sure that he doesn't do anything that draws an unnecessary roughness penalty or something like that.
Well, he was, oh my goodness, was he there on that one. He read that play beautifully. They're going to mark it as a no gain, but prior to that, the runner for PNG has Wynn had picked up 37 yards on 3 carries.
Sample, 10 tackles last week. He's been fairly quiet thus far. Second down and 10, another give to Wynn. goes through the tackle of Logan Granville and fights to the 19. That's a pickup of 8, and it's going to be 3rd and 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like, from what we're seeing here, PNG went into the locker room and said, we could run the ball, and we're going to pound it down their throat. And that's what they're doing right now. Looks like they gave him, I guess 8 yards on that play. And now the more I'm watching the runner here win, he can really run well inside. He runs through traffic very well.
And now they have the Wildcat formation with Shea Adams taking the snaps and 2 big fellas in front of him. And he runs straight ahead, but he's hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss of 1. Coming off the edge, beautiful tackle, Donovan Jackson, and he's fired up. That makes it 4th and a long 3, Patrick. I wonder, are they going to bring out Sandoval?
Yep.
And as soon as I get that question started, he trots onto the field. So it's going to be an attempt of 38 yards from right in the middle of the field, and that slight wind coming out of the east at his back.
Well, he made a 45-yarder earlier, and he can make him 45. He can certainly make him 37.
Out of the hold of Caden Reeves. The snap and hold look good. Plenty of distance, and right between the uprights. It's good. They have upped the ante, 26-14. It's a 12-point spread. And we'll see the Marshall Buffs offense take over the first time in the 3rd quarter. And they've got a mountain to climb here. And, you know, this much time left, 12 points doesn't seem like a mountain, but PNG's been playing a great football game. We'll be back.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
First Iron Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the Back on the Road fluid check specials and tire specials.
Back, and it took a little bit of more time to get the kickoff and kickoff return teams out there because Zachary Chapman of Marshall was down for a moment. The training staff helped him up, and he left, and looks like he'll be back. But I'll tell you what, that Sandoval has impressed me as a kicker. Andres with field goals of, let's see, the first one was
45,
and then one from 38 just now. And he booms the ball into the end zone, and they just let it go. W.E. Mitchell watches it bounce through the back of the end zone, and the Marshall Buffs are going to have to take on a tough team that is very fired up and has seemingly kept momentum throughout this game as they lead it 26-14.
At one point, when it was 16-14 after that long 78-yard touchdown run by the Buffs, it looked like the Buffs were in the momentum section, but then it was taken right back away, and PNG has been in control since.
4 receivers in the pattern. One goes in motion. That's Jacoby Banks. And up the middle they go with Jai Adrian Wortham. And he gets 3 yards, and that's it. Nick Gardner makes yet another tackle for the purple jersey PNG Indians. They have just your basic, white helmets with the purple, double purple stripe across the top. Big white letters and numerals, and the white pants with a double purple stripe down either side. On second down, Jordan Davis fakes the ball to Haynes. He's hit in the backfield and sacked. It looks like he's just kind of casually and comfortably expecting to have time to throw, but Mason Drody came through and wrapped up his legs, and help arrived quickly, and that's a sack that makes it 3rd and 13.
Well, he came in on that blitz like a shot out of a cannon that time, and he was on to him very quickly, had his legs, and he got help from teammates.
This is critical. You don't want to give it back to PNG down by 12. And there is a misdirection play. There goes Haynes. He's tripped up, and Gardner does it again. Nick Gardner is just all over the place. That's another Well, it's not a tackle for loss, but it limits it to a gain of 1, and it's time for Marshall to punt it away.
Yeah, I tell you, Marshall, I'm quite sure they're feeling a little bit shocked here because they don't get stopped like this very often, and they're getting stopped here on lots of plays, and it's frustrating them.
Larry Benton ready to punt it away. Ganeri back to receive. The snap's a little bit high. He gets it away. And the ball bounces short of midfield, but bounces over midfield and stops at the 46 of PNG. And they did hurry Larry Benton, but there was no contact made, no flag. And PNG gets the football, and I think it's going to be the Isaiah Wynn show.
That last series, any indication, they didn't stop him a whole lot, so why wouldn't you keep doing that? And then you're going to keep the clock running, too. That's another plus for PNG. And they also start on with real good field position at their own 46.
We're less than halfway through the third quarter, but I think it's desperation time already for Marshall.
Well, they got to get a stop, that's for sure.
Got to get a turnover if possible. Up the middle they go. It's Wynn. And he gets nothing. Who got in there first? Jordan Sample with his second solo tackle during this third quarter. It's 2nd down and 10, and PNG is going to be pretty content, I think, even if they don't get a first down. Some coaches say that if possession ends with a kick, it's not necessarily a bad thing. They could run 3 plays, burn off some time, and punt it back to Marshall, and they might be okay with that. 3 receivers on the left side of the pattern. Crippen's going to throw, and he's got a man open across midfield. And all the way to the 41-yard line of Marshall as he delivered one in the flat to Ganeri.
Well, that was a nice play because it was an easy pass. It was not a risky pass, and he had his man open, had good blocking downfield, and first down for the Indians.
That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. And the Indians can take plenty of time between plays. The clock, play clock is down to 8. Crippen is ready. Turns around, gives it to Wynn, going right, a lot of room. Gets it to the 32-yard line and a quick pickup of 8.
Wow, you talk about a hole there. You've been talking about their offensive line, Roger, their big offensive line. They really opened it up that time, and he shot through there for that quick 8. And all of a sudden, Wynn, he's piling up some yards here.
And you know something else, that if things keep going this way for Port Neches-Groves, they don't really have to pull anything out of their playbook to finish this game, and they can keep some trick plays hidden if they need them next week, possibly against Liberty Hill. There goes Wynn running left, cuts it back to the inside, got a first down all the way down to the 24-yard line. That'll move the sticks yet again.
Well, the more I'm watching Wynn, the more impressed I am. He wasn't too flashy in the first half. He's not overly flashy in the second, but he hits the hole hard, and he's always got, seems like he's going forward. He's got that positive finish to every run.
Kai Guillory made that last tackle for the Buffs, and on this drive he's made a couple of tackles that might have been touchdown savers. There goes Wynn again. Logan Granville rides him down from behind, and he picks up only 2 this time. The clock will be well under 4 minutes before PJ snaps it again. That's the time remaining in the third quarter. The Indians lead it 26-14, and they are threatening to shock the number 2 ranked team in Class 5A Division II, your Marshall Buffs.
They just can't seem to get anything going, talking about the Buffs.
Crippen, toss, there goes Wynn trying to get to the edge, turns it up, he's hit and stopped for a gain of 1. I started to say no gain, but he just doesn't quit. He keeps twisting and turning, and if he can get 1 yard out of it, he will.
You talk about a workhorse. He's been, I'm trying to see if I can find out how many carries he has here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like he's got about 7 carries already here in the second half. That time, no. What did he get? 1 yard, I guess, on that play.
Logan Granville and Elijah Sims collaborated on that last stop. Here's a huge play. 3rd down and 7 for PNG. Right hash, 21-yard line of your Marshall Buffs. Crippen stands strong. Off his back foot, throws over the middle, incomplete. Low as he tried to get the ball into the hands of Ganeri. But I believe that he was open.
Yes, he was.
He was standing in front of Joshua Lair on a little stop route. And one of the Buffs is down. Looks like he's got leg cramps. That might be Logan Granville. No, it's not Logan. It's somebody else. Maybe Jordan Sample. There's a timeout called while they tend to him. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Equitable Advisors financial professionals know the path to a fulfilling future begins with getting to know who you are and what matters to you most. They work with people as individuals. That's how they deliver on their mission, just like Nick Arevalo, CFP. Talk to your local Equitable Advisor financial professional at 281-712-8777 or visit nickarevalo.com. That's NICKAREVALO.com. Together, you and my friend Nick can plan a future that reflects all of who you are. Equitable Advisors, LLC, New York, New York, member FINRA SIPC, investment advisory through Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. CFP is a certification mark owned by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, Incorporated. This mark is awarded to individuals who successfully complete the CFP Board's initial and ongoing certification requirements.
Well, Zachary Chapman was the injured player for the Buffs. He went off the field, and PNG on 4th down and 8 brought on their ace kicker, Andres Sandoval, and he was good from 38 yards. 2:50 to go in the third, and it's now 29-14. It's still a 2-score game, but the Buffs are going to have 2 touchdowns, kick the point on one, and make a 2-pointer on another, just to get this to a tie game, and that's if their defense can begin stopping PNG, something they haven't been able to do.
Well, the good news for the Buffs is the last 2 drives for PNG, they did hold them to field goals, so they kept it to within a 2-score game, so that's a positive. But you got to do something about it. You can't be stuck on 14 here. And I'll tell you what, if the Buffs can go down there and score a touchdown, put some pressure on them, got a good finish here.
The Indians trying to win their 10th straight game. Sandoval kicks off, and I think they can return this one. It's Jacoby Banks right at the goal line, slips, gets to the 5, going to the 10-yard line, already encounters a tackler there, and he gets to the 16, and that's it, and they wrestle him out of bounds. Did that ball get out of his hands for a moment?
I couldn't tell down there, but he was stumbling, and it started off at the initial reception of the ball at the goal line. You said he kind of slipped. It's a good thing he didn't take a knee at that point, but he only got to the 16-yard line as it was.
And he had to fight to do that. He kind of had some guy trying to grab his feet at about the 10-yard line, and he managed to fight forward. So,
well, that's one of the problems the Buffs have had tonight is the field position. They've started deep in their own end several times. Here they are again.
Jordan Davis needing to play with urgency, and he hands it off to Haynes, coming right on the jet sweep, but not much there. He only picks up about 2. 2nd down and 8. Jonathan Haynes has been a productive runner for these Buffs, and he'll probably get a lot of playing time next year.
Well, you got to give PNG a lot of credit here defensively. They have really, really stifled the Buffs tonight. They've had that long run, and they had another touchdown drive, but overall, they've done an excellent job.
Second down and 8. Davis with 2 backs next to him, fakes the handoff, throws, and it's Jacaden Ferguson on the down and out. He's got a first down at the 30-yard line.
That was a nice play. He was wide open over there, and a good pass from Davis. Maybe I'll get him started here.
11-yard pickup. Stops the clock with 1:57 to go in this third quarter. Ferguson had those 2 touchdown catches last week.
One time or a couple times the Buffs have had good series is when they really went fast. They haven't been able to do that much.
New line of scrimmage is the 30. There goes Jai Adrian Wortham running the jet sweep, and PNG has just played that beautifully all night. That's a loss of 2. They ran it to the short side of the field. He couldn't find any room once he got to the numbers, and the next thing you know, he's got a tackler on his back, and guess who it is? It's Nick Gardner.
He's been...
that guy's an animal.
Yeah, he's been all over it, hasn't he? Yeah, they strung that out. There's nowhere to go, and the sidelines is there, and clock's underneath 2 to play here in the third quarter. Got to get something moving here.
That was a loss of 1. Second down and 11. Davis, after the play fake, throws far sideline. He's got another catch to Jacaden Ferguson, and he steps out of bounds, and it's a first down for the Buffs at the 43. And, you know, maybe they're setting up something where they can pump short and send one of their guys deep.
Yeah, the last couple pass plays, the receiver, I guess it's Ferguson, has been really open, and Davis is able to just calmly toss it in there, and he's got a couple of good gains.
You've got Benton, Feast, and Banks on the near side of the field, that trio of receivers, and on the far side it is Jacaden Ferguson, who has a one-on-one coverage against him. And now there's movement on the left side of the line for the Buffs with 1:42 to go, and instead of 1st and 10 at their 42, they'll have 1st and 15 from their 37.
Well, I'm trying to think. Has PNG, besides that offsetting penalty in the first half with unsportsmanlike conduct, here's the call. They're calling it against PNG. Offside.
Okay, well, how about that? It's, I guess, you know, you and I grew up in a time where the defense could never draw the offense into a false start, but now the rules have changed, and so it is a 5-yard penalty against PNG.
I was just going to say that PNG has been doing a good job with the penalties. Marshall's had a hard time, and that time they're going against PNG.
1st and 5. Davis pump short, looking down the field, can't find anybody. Flushed over to the right, looking down the field. Now he dodges a tackler, keeps going near sideline, and steps out of bounds near the 45, and he will have a first down for the Marshall Buffs. You know, they've been conserving a lot of time. They have gone out of bounds on, I think, the last 4 plays.
Yeah, that's conserving the time. As you said, they've only used 1:09 with the ball here, and they've moved it all the way to the 45-yard line of PNG, so you're right about that. He wanted to go deep that time. I think he had a pump fake, but PNG did a good job of, covering those receivers downfield, but a nice scramble.
Specifically, Cameron Drody, the corner on the other side, he didn't fall for the pump fake. Give to Haynes, hit in the backfield. Escapes a couple of tackles and then gets hit right in the face, and down he goes at the 45. That's a loss of 10.
He looked like he was going to elude the pressure there, and then he kept turning around and finding somebody else, and the last man just pancaked him for the 10-yard loss. What a play.
Yeah, Peyton Broom gave him a great big kiss. He kind of hit him with his helmet, but I guess he was not running at him, so there was no targeting call or anything like that. But it's 2nd down and 20. We're under a minute to go in the third. Buffs still down 29-14, and they've got to keep this drive going. It's got to end in a touchdown. Davis throwing the screen pass, gets it to Banks, gets free, across the 45-40, still going, and a nice open field tackle, a yard or 2 short of the first down. Oh my goodness, that could have gone all the way. But in the open field, Reed Richard brought him down, and now it's 3rd and 1, so that's 3rd and 2 actually, and that's really helpful for Marshall. They had that 1st and 20, but they've gotten themselves into a very makeable position. 3 receivers on the left side of the formation. And we got flags, and based on what we saw a couple of plays ago, we don't know if this is against the defense or the offense.
I did see the end move on the offense. I did see a defensive play. He didn't cross the line, so I think it's going against Marshall, and it's killing him. These penalties are killing him here. It was 3rd and about 1.5 or 2. Now it's going to look like 3rd and about 7, huh?
And we couldn't hear referee Greg Maxwell. His microphone is not particularly loud, but you could tell by the cheers on the home side of Galena Park ISD Stadium that the penalty went against the Buffs, and the result was good for the Indians.
That might be the last.
And that may be, it will be, the last play of the 3rd quarter. Oh, these are the times that try men's souls. It is tough for the Marshall Buffs. They're down by 15. Go into the final quarter. They got to find a way to pull it out. This is VypeFortBend.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time. Run around. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
All right, the Buffs are definitely in 4-down territory, not because of where they are on the field, but because of what the scoreboard says. 3rd down and 7. Empty backfield. Davis throws far sideline. He's got his man, and it's a 1st down.
Davis's pass complete.
Is it Banks? Yep, Jacoby Banks. Just 1 yard more than he needed.
Jacoby Banks. Getting up for a Marshall 1st down.
So that's a good start to this 4th quarter, but the Buffs are down 15. So if you score the touchdown, you've got to kick for 1 and then try to get the next touchdown and go for 2, right?
That's exactly right.
5 receivers in the pattern, empty backfield. Davis drops back, they protect him. Looks right, now scrambles, steps up, throws end zone, looking for Feast, and he's got it! Touchdown, Andre Feast! Oh my goodness, 2 spectacular catches for touchdowns in the west end zone tonight. Oh my goodness, what a catch. That makes it 29-20, and they'll bring on Diaz to try and make it an 8-point game. Andre Feast, oh, just a sophomore. This is just an appetizer of what we're going to see from Andre Feast in the next couple of years. Diaz, the extra point kick is up, and it's good. So the Buffs make it interesting, 29-21 with 11:29 to go on VypeFortBend.com.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today. First Tire and Automotive with 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. firsttireandauto.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
How about that Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive, Patrick?
9 plays, 84 yards, Roger. 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Number 4, Dylan Wallace.
And a great catch by Feast to finish it off. And Port Neches-Groves fair catches the pop-up kick. The ball is right at the 25. And you know what? I think that the guy who caught it, and I'm really not sure who it was because he disappeared into the crowded sideline, he probably could have let that go and maybe given his team a few extra yards.
I think you're right, but he didn't want to take a chance, I guess. And this is a big drive here, huh? 8-point game. PNG has moved the ball pretty well here in the second half, but they've had to settle for field goals.
And you think about the Marshall defense, how do you make adjustments when it's been just a very simple straight-ahead running game? They crowd the box, and now it's Crippen to throw on the first play of the drive, and he gets a slant route and a first down catch of 12 yards to Ganeri. That guy's really shifty.
He sure is, and you know, the play call, I think it threw him off balance too, because they've been running the ball so much, and then they just came out with a little quick slant pass for 12 yards.
That's a first down. Think of First Tyrant Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttyrantauto.com. 38-yard line, 1st and 10 for PNG. A little run blitz, and they give it to Wynn again over the right side. Buff stop him after a gain of about 4. They were trying to rip the ball out of his hands, but he was having none of it. Donovan Jackson makes another tackle. He's been busy, but you don't want your secondary men too busy making tackles when the other team runs the football. That is a pickup of 7. You know, I think I keep inaccurately giving the yardage totals on a play for Wynn because it looks like he stopped early.
Yeah.
But he just keeps adding 2, maybe 3 extra yards.
I'm going to give you some information after this play, Roger.
Okay, 2nd down and 3. And there goes Wynn up the middle, 1st down and more into Buffs territory to the 47.
Another gain of 7. I'll tell you what, that line is really blowing it open, but here's an interesting statistic. Total yards in the ball game. Marshall, 314. PNG right now is at 313.
Marked at the 47-yard line.
Or 312, but they're like almost even yardage-wise, and the score is in the favor of PNG, though.
And props to you for keeping stats and doing it the old school way. You don't have any special app or whatever. Now it's a reverse. It's Shea Adams. He's hit in the backfield. PNG dropped for a huge loss of 9 yards. Got him in the backfield was Elijah Sims, and I'll tell you what, I wonder why is PNG doing that? Why do you need to?
I'm not sure. You can always second guess. It almost looked like he might be possibly throwing to the quarterback on that because the quarterback came out to the right, kind of like as a, what do you call that, what's that pattern? I'm losing my mind here.
What kind of pattern?
Wheel route. A wheel route.
A wheel route,
yeah,
yes.
Up the sideline, and that was covered as well, so great job by Marshall.
It's 2nd down and 19. Crippen wants to throw. Steps up in the pocket, throws, the ball is caught! First down, Ganeri!
What a catch.
Got it at the 36.
What a catch.
It really was amazing. He found the little soft spot between zones, and Paul Lucas made the tackle, but his helmet came off as he made that tackle. So you go from 2nd down and 19, feeling pretty good if you're the Buffs defense, and now all of a sudden a fresh set of downs. The ball's at the 36. Marshall just can't afford to give up anything here, not even a field goal.
Clock down underneath 9 minutes.
Crippen's going to throw it, and it's a little stop route, just a 4-yard pickup as he delivers the ball to, guess who? Ganeri. And another play on which a Buff lost his helmet. This time it is Corin Randalls who goes out, and Paul Lucas is back on the field now after he sat out a play.
That pass play was a fairly safe play. It was a little hitch pattern or a little stop pattern, and the quarterback came out of there quickly with the pass.
Mark Jackson comes in to replace Corin Randalls. It's 2nd down and 6. PNG leading by 8, and they have it at the 32.5-yard line of the Buffs. Crippen wants to throw, steps up, and it's into heavy coverage, and I think he just threw that away wisely. Looking for Ganeri, Joshua Lair was bracketing him along with Kai Guillory. Huge play, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, it's easy to call plays up here, isn't it? It just seems like they had just picked up 4 yards. Seems like you want to just keep the clock running, run the ball. But maybe they got something up the sleeve here on 3rd and 6. Marshall needs to stop.
Shea Adams is a wide receiver on the far side. He's a guy who can throw the football. Crippen rolls to the right, throws into the flat, off the hands of his intended receiver, Ganeri. And that's going to be a huge break for the Buffs because they might want to try a field goal, because I think that Sandoval could make it from there, but if he does, it would be from just short of 50 yards. It appears they're going to go ahead and go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is huge, Patrick. Even though
sure
there's 7:47 to go in the game. Sounds like a lot of time, but the Buffs need the football back.
Fans on both sides coming to their feet here on this play, knowing how important it is.
They know how huge this is. 4th down and 6. Crippen drops back, looking late, throws over the middle, and the pass is it caught? It's incomplete. It's incomplete. Oh, what a big hit. It was W.E. Mitchell who jarred the ball loose as they tried to get it in the hands of a guy they haven't targeted. It's Julian Lopez, and no fault on Lopez. He just, it was a perfectly timed hit from behind, and it might be that Mitchell might have kind of brought a fist up inside the elbow just to loosen the ball, and now the plot thickens.
It sure does. The Buffs start on their own 33.
And look across the way, the Buffs fans have not sat down after that big defensive play. Their team has the football at the 33. Jai Adrian Wortham, it's a reverse. Coming this way, it's Jai Caden Ferguson. Correction, it's not Ferguson, it's actually George Kirkland who had the long touchdown earlier. And he ends up getting a 5-yard pickup. 2nd down and 5. Did he get out of bounds? No, he did not. So the clock continues to tick down. We're at 7:14 to go. 2nd down and 5 for the Buffs. That's the first little trickeration we've really seen out of them.
It looked like it was going to possibly pop, but it didn't. Good job by P&G.
Feast in motion. Play fake Davis. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to run. Bounces off tacklers, keeps going, gets across the 40, fighting to the 43. He is strong, and you know what? I think he's got a 1st down.
He does.
He sure does. And it was Torian Hinton on the tackle, but not before it's a 1st down. Think of First Tyrant Automotive. For all your car care needs, check them out at firsttyranauto.com.
That was one of the few times tonight that we've seen Davis pinball his way off of tacklers. He really did a good job there to pick up that 1st down.
Buffs from their 43, fresh set of downs, play fake. Davis steps up, looking deep down the field, lets it fly. Looking down there for Caden Ferguson, and it's incomplete. He had to kind of twist around, but that was good coverage. Really, let's see, turn around, kid. I think maybe that was, well, I'd say 12, but there's no 12 on the roster. 22, actually. That's William Poole. Both players, no, it's not even Poole, sorry. It's Reed Richard. So both he and Ferguson were kind of having to do the twist and shout as the ball came down. There's a little swing over there to Haynes. He picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and 4 as he's over near the sideline, but he doesn't get out of bounds. We're going to be under 6 minutes. Gardner makes another tackle.
This is playoff football to the max, isn't it, Roger? We under 6 to play. It's a 1-score game. Both crowds are on the edge of their feet. Many of them are standing. Big play here.
And I said he picked up 6. It was actually 5, so it's 3rd and 5. Davis throws. He's got Ferguson. He makes a move toward the sideline inside the 40 and out at the 38. And a late shove that, you know, we saw what Torian Hinton just did after Ferguson crossed the boundary. That would have been a
38-yard line, first and 10.
a personal foul, dead ball, because that's what happened in front of the PNG, inside the PNG bench to one of the Marshall players in the first half. I didn't say that very eloquently. What I'm saying is, come on, guys, call it evenly. First and 10 from the 38. Davis throws down the near sideline. Ferguson! Incomplete. It went through his hands. Oh, my goodness. That would have been a 38-yard touchdown catch.
Well,
I'm not sure if the defender got a hand in there or not.
I think the defender came in and swiped the ball out of his grip there because he looked like he had it for a moment, Ferguson, and the defender chopped at it, I guess, and he knocked it out of his hand. Whoa,
I was wishing they would show us a replay and we could tell you what really happened. But no harm done. Second down and 10, and the Buffs have momentum. And I think this PNG defense is finally getting a little bit tired. They haven't spent the majority of the time during the whole game, but they have been out there a lot in the second half. There goes Haynes on an option pitch, and he gets 12 yards and a first down. He's out at the 25-yard line. It's an 8-point game. Indians leading your Buffs 29-21. So the Buffs need to get a touchdown, and they need a 2-pointer.
Well, I'll tell you what, great job by Davis. Went down the line as far as he could, and then when he got about to be tackled, he pitched it to Haynes, and whoever to get to the outside for 12 yards. 5:19 to play. They're in good position here to get some points.
Trips receivers on the right side. And a give to Haynes up the middle. Good yardage. 6 quick yards down to the 20. The Buffs are in the red zone, and they have a third down and 3.5. Second down and 3.5. And they play quickly. Another give to Haynes. No, Davis keeps it. He gets inside the 15, and he has a first down. That's a first down pick of First Tyrant Automotive. For all your car care needs, check them out at firsttyrantauto.com. 4:57 to go in the game, and the clock will restart when they move the sticks.
It would be hard to imagine PNG being able to stop them from scoring a touchdown here. The Buffs have that mojo going on offense here the last 2 drives.
First down, Marshall.
And like you said, for the first time tonight, it looks like PNG defense seems a little fatigued.
Well, the Buffs eliminated PNG from the playoffs in 2018, 2019, and 2020. They're trying to do it again in 2022. And that is a jet sweep. Adrian Wortham just trying to work hard to get out of the backfield. He's dropped for a loss of 2 yards back to the 17. What pursuit by Jacob Cabrera of PNG.
Wortham just could not get to the edge, meaning PNG just kept stringing it out all the way to the sideline. And now the PNG crowd is doing, what is that, the tomahawk chop?
Yeah, and you know that is a play that has worked against a lot of teams.
Right.
But PNG has really practiced going against that one, and I think maybe the Buffs ought to junk it for this week.
Clock still runs.
4 minutes, now under 4 minutes. Second down and 12. Davis drops back. He's pressured. He's hit. He's sacked. And it's going to be a loss of about 5, and that's a real setback for the Buffs. Well, they lose yardage on consecutive plays, and now it's going to be third down and 16.
He was able to fight his way to not a 5-yard loss, but maybe more like a 2 or 3 yard loss. But they were in on him quick, and I tell you what, here's a big play here, 3rd and 16.
And we're under 3.5 minutes. You wonder, is this the last possession the Buffs will have during regulation time?
It is hard to imagine they're going to get many more chances.
They're down in 16, but there are 2 backs in the backfield. Fake to Wortham. Davis shakes a tackle, looking down the field. Now he's got to get around a man, and he stiff arms him, and he goes out of bounds at the 18.
Boy, give credit.
He got a big chunk of it, but not all of it.
Yeah,
about half.
Give credit to that defender out there. 1-on-1 versus big Jordan Davis, and he just held his ground. And it's going to be a 4th down and 10. What do we got going here, Roger?
Marshall has called a timeout. We'll take it with him. They've got to have it when we come back on VypeFortBend.com.
Next Level Urgent Care supports Fort Bend County sports and supports you whenever you're hurting. Next Level is here for the community, open 7 days a week, 9 till 9, for you and your family at more than 30 Greater Houston locations, including Sugar Land, Sienna, Greatwood, Longmeadow, and 4 in Katy. From OW to WOW, Next Level Urgent Care has you covered. And if you're short on time, Next Level has an app to get you in line right away. Just text NLUCAPP to 313131 for Next Level Urgent Care.
Okay, we'll reset it for you. Marshall is down by 8 with exactly 3 minutes left. They have a 4th down and 10 at the 15-yard line of PNG. So the Buffs use the first of their 3 timeouts to try and draw something up that will get them the yardage they need.
Yeah, they had a 1st and 10 from here, and then they had the 2-yard loss, then the sack. And Davis was able to pick up 6 yards back here, but now it's 3rd and 10, as Roger said. Big play. Rogers, give us the scoop here.
3 receivers on the left side, 2 on the right, but now one of them moves over to the left. Davis drops back, looking, over toward the sideline, fires late. And what happened? Incomplete. The ball goes over. He was looking for a sideline route for Larry Benton. And catch not made, ball goes over, 2:53 left, and PNG does not have this one in their pocket just yet. The Buffs do have the 2 timeouts.
But they can ill afford to give up even 1 first down here.
Oh yeah, give up 1 first down, and I think that would be the end of it.
Here's Davis got out on the edge, but PNG just kept the pressure. There were 2 or 3 guys pressuring him. He could not set his feet to make a good pass. The receiver in the end zone looked like he was open, but it looked like he fell down or something. I couldn't really tell. And then the near receiver was well covered, so tough break for the Buffs. Now here they go with PNG ball. And there's what, we got timeout already? PNG takes a timeout.
That's a PNG timeout. We'll take it with them and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
Hey, Fort Bend County fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance Agency.
Bradley is my insurance man. He can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year on your car insurance, home insurance, or flood insurance, or all 3 like he did for me. And Bradley, you are as Fort Bend County as they come, right?
That's right, 4th generation here in the Needville area in Fort Bend County, taking care of folks over here for over 100 years here in Fort Bend County.
You can give him a call, you can go online, or he'll even come see you at the Needville Insurance Agency. Give him the number, Bradley.
979-793-7411.
The PNG linemen come back out there, and they're lined up foot to foot like it's a 4th and 1, but it's 1st and 10. The Buffs crowd the box, and now there is a flag. And what's it going to be? The Indians are pointing at the Buffs as if they jumped first.
And the Buffs are pointing to the Indians. So there was something strange going on in there.
Greg Maxwell is our ref. And he points at the Buffs. Oh my goodness. So all is not lost, but you don't want to give them 1st and 5.
Yeah, you're really flirting with trouble here because, like you said, Roger, they only have 2 timeouts. That doesn't give you a whole lot of cushion.
Nothing matters more to PNG right now than ball security. Do not turn it over is what they're, you don't want to think negatives, but
right,
you got to make sure you hang on to that football.
Of course, the opposite for Marshall, trying to get that ball loose.
Crippen out of the spread, hands it to Wynn, running right. He's got plenty of yards, and he's within a yard of the first down. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Well, you want to run a guy through a lot of traffic, he's the guy to do it. He just finds a way. I don't know how he gets through some of that traffic, but that was a nice gain of 4. And Marshall has opted not to call the timeout yet. They are down to
2:18, and the clock is still ticking. Second down and less than a yard. Marshall just has to hope for a mistake, really. And Shea Adams runs back behind the center, runs the quarterback sneak, and he got the first down. He got it to the 25. Marshall is in deep trouble now.
They sure are, and that play for Adams, he comes in motion, and then he stops and goes under center and takes that quarterback sneak. It's kind of a unique way of doing a quarterback sneak.
And it didn't work for much, but they only needed a yard, and he got it. Now the clock is down to 1:40. The Buffs have 2 timeouts, but they haven't used their second one yet.
They have to almost use it after this play.
I think so. Another give to win. Up the middle he goes. And the Buffs stack him up, but he keeps pushing the pile. I think he got about 3, and it's going to be a timeout Buffs. It'll be 2nd and 7 when we come back on VypeFortBend.com.
My husband and I live next door to a haunted graveyard. It's a little creepy, but we manage. Just like we manage without home internet. Do I wish my mobile hotspot was faster? Yes, but I make it work. Kinda. Just like we make it work sleeping next to a 17th century burial ground.
Honey, can you move your hand?
That's not my hand.
It's mine.
Not having home internet? It's not that bad. Grab my hand.
Wait, okay.
No, not up the stairs. We tried that last time. You can literally run through him.
It is that bad. Don't settle for just mobile. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $24.99 a month for 2 years with no annual contract and a free streaming box included. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 24 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 12/21/22.
The tomahawk chop plays on. 2nd down and 7. Marshall down to 1 timeout left. There's 1:17 remaining, and they trail by 8. Do they have any chance to get the football back? Shea Adams moves behind the center. And now he backs away from the center. The play clock is at 6. Steps back up there again. Takes the snap, sneaks forward. Gets 2, maybe 3 yards. That's it. Clock still ticking. We're down to 1:08 to go, and the Buffs better use a timeout, don't you think?
Well, I think they're going to use it after this play, I think.
Okay, well, they're really going to have to, first of all, stop PNG on 3rd and 4. The line of scrimmage is the 31. We're under a minute to go. 50 seconds now. Play clock at 21. They can run it all the way down to under 30.
There's just nothing Marshall could do with just the 2 timeouts. No matter when you use it, they're going to be able to run off those seconds. The big key was they gave up that first down. Off of that, remember they had that offside, and that really hurt them.
All right, PNG takes the timeout. When we come back, they'll have a 3rd and 4. The Buffs will have to stop them, then call a timeout, and then they will hope to get the football. One more precious play, perhaps.
Well, if they can get it for 1 or 2 plays, you never know.
You never know. We'll be back.
First Tire and Automotive heard you were starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $20 off brake pad service. Since you will be traveling more, check out the back on the road fluid check specials and tire specials. Yes, First Tire and Automotive has those too. Your holiday savings start now. Check out the website firsttireandauto.com for details and to book your appointment today.
Sorry, had to stop that commercial because both teams are already out there on the field. Buffs have to stop them here with 3rd down and 4, and then they have to call a timeout. Crippen turns around, hands it off to Wynn, pushing forward. He won't have the first down, or will he? Where is that guy? Did he make the first down?
They marked him short.
I think they marked him short.
And I don't know how he squirted out there at the end, but 20 seconds left.
20 seconds left, and where do they spot the ball? And does PNG dare to go for it? I would say no, because
I don't think
if you go for it and come up short, then Marshall is 33 yards away from the end zone. And
yeah, the clock's going to stop after the play, so you certainly don't want to give him the ball at that position with 15 seconds left or whatever. But I would say one thing: if I was PNG, I would not kick it to the return man. I'd kick that ball out of bounds. Don't even give him a chance. Although, would it be better to have that guy with the ball or Davis with the ball?
That guy will probably be
Banks.
Jacoby Banks.
Yeah.
And, you know, he can score from anywhere.
So, yeah, I don't know. Certainly you can't go for it, can you, Roger?
No, I don't think you should,
It's
unless
4th and 2 here.
Maybe you have an athletic player run to the right for a rugby-style punt. If there's no daylight to run, then you punt it. That would not only get the ball down the field, but drain off precious seconds.
Or you might try to just draw them offside here. They might do that.
They are sending Crippen into punt formation,
which is not a surprise.
Number 11, Cole Crippen in punt
all right, so you got Andre Feast back as the only punt returner. And I know that he's probably been instructed, at least fair catch the ball. Don't let time tick away as the ball bounces around.
Oh,
low snap, the Buffs come after it, but Crippen gets it away.
What a kick.
Feast has it, and he's being pursued, but he's back to the 20, near sideline, and goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line, and there are 10 seconds left on the clock. It really was an amazing punt.
He had him going back to the 25.
Now Crippen gets a high five from one of the coaches, and they're telling him, you know, that's something that won't seem that impactful.
Right.
But
well, the other thing is the snap was low, unfortunately for him, but he scooped it out of there and just put a charge into that kick.
So he's the quarterback, but maybe one of his important plays tonight, most important, might have been not a pass, but a punt.
So what if you're Marshall here, you want to get, if you could get 15 yards or so here on this play and get out of bounds, you at least could get a Hail Mary attempt here. Right now they're too far away for the Hail Mary type pass.
The line of scrimmage is the Marshall 27, and there are Indians between their own 30 and 35. Davis drops back, throws over the middle, incomplete, intended for Benton. That only took 3 seconds. 7 seconds to go, so Marshall is going to have to play it very precisely to get 2 more snaps.
It's going to be hard to get 2 more snaps, although that play only took them 3 seconds, but it was an incomplete pass. Well, let's see what they can do here. Got to stop the clock if they can.
Davis throws, or looks to the right, now throws it late over the middle. Benton goes down, and that's the last play of the game. When he goes down, and he does, near the 50, that is it. PNG has stunned the number 2 ranked Marshall Buffs.
And the coaches to our left.
Is over for our Fort Bend County teams. What do you think, Patrick?
Well, give credit to PNG. They were tough from the very beginning of the ball game. They just took it to them. And Marshall never could get anything going the whole night.
You know, they were playing from behind the whole way, and these PNG Indians really had the great game plan, and as it turned out, you never would have thought, after what we saw happen between these 2 teams way back in September in the first district game of the year. But Marshall was just not very well equipped to handle the PNG running game, and PNG got on top and never trailed in this football game.
Yeah, and they had enough passing game as well, just enough passing to keep Marshall off balance, and a couple of nice pass plays and receptions to Canary and Adams, and maybe I'm missing somebody else too on receptions, but they just enough to keep Marshall off balance, and then they'd come back with the run. And I noticed I was adding up that Wynn ended up with 132 yards rushing, and you know, he just was steady all night. Good job at the quarterback, Crippen, and good luck to PNG. I like what I see from them.
Indeed. In fact, I'm thinking about, let's see, if tomorrow Liberty Hill wins as they're favored to do over Corpus Christi Flower Bluff, you got two teams that wear purple and two teams who like to use the power running game, and Liberty Hill uses a very unusual offense called the slot T, where they just jam all their linemen up together. The quarterback will often turn around after taking the snap, and he may fake it very quickly to three backs, and you don't know which one has it. And so you're going to have two purple teams that like to run with power. And speaking of purple, look at this fan base, Patrick. I mean, it's just amazing. And there are going to be a whole bunch of people, very, very happy people wearing purple. And it's going to take us a while to get out of the parking lot. And for the Marshall Buffs, it'll be another one of those what might have been seasons. I really thought this might be a time when I would be headed for AT&T Stadium, but it is not to be.
Roger, after that game last week we saw over there at Del Mar, I didn't think there was any chance anybody could beat them. They just looked awesome, and maybe it's one of those things where they peaked a week or two early. I'm not sure, but boy, oh boy, give credit to PNG. They didn't make many mistakes, no turnovers. The penalties didn't cost them any much, and what can you say? It's one of those games. The yardage was pretty equal in terms of offense, and PNG just did just enough to pull out that 8-point win.
Well, they certainly deserved it. Great game plan, great execution, and we don't want this to get lost in what we're talking about in praise of PNG, but what a great season for the Marshall Buffs. It is so difficult to keep it going for every single one of these tough competitive playoff games that our football season is over. So I want to thank you. I want to thank James Kovaleski, all the great assistants who are there inside the mothership at Vype World headquarters. And tonight it is Victor Mora. Victor, thank you for being there for us. And thank you, Merle Bertrand, Suna Venkat, and everyone on the VypeFortBend.com team. And I know that I keep going back to the fan support, but you know, I would rather see happy expressions on the faces of the Marshall Buffs, honestly, because they are our team. But and this is not unique. There are other places where the spirit is really amazing and the crowds are really huge. But what I saw when I got to this stadium about an hour and 45 minutes before the game started, there seemed to be a line about 500 yards long of people waiting to get in the gate, and all of them were from Port Neches-Groves.
Yeah, it's amazing. And when I got here, the stands were already full. I mean, I was here probably 40 minutes ahead of the game, or 30 for sure, and this side was full of the purple people already. So.
And this is not a small stadium.
No, it isn't.
The home side of Galena Park ISD Stadium, I'm thinking it would hold at least 6,000 if every seat was filled.
It seems like it would have been. It had to have been for sure 4,000 of these Port PNG fans, maybe 5,000. I don't know for sure, but lots of them.
Well, I guess it's time to say goodnight.
And thank you, Roger, for all you do for Vype Fort Bend. And for me, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And
it's been a joy.
By the way, I think we're, since no one's listening to us at this point, I think we're really kind of hitting our stride. We're getting to be a much better tandem, you know. There's no substitute for working together for dozens and dozens and dozens of games before you really start to get.
So we'll be waiting for a call from like ESPN or something sometime soon.
Well, that depends. Do you want to reach out to them? They do have people that are always scouting talent. So
sure.
Send them your demo reel.
Well, I'm talking about a team though. We got to go as a team.
No, they won't take us as a team.
Oh, come on.
They would have a bunch of conversations and ask us some personal questions, and they wouldn't like what they heard, and that would be that.
All right. Well, we got basketball to look forward to.
We sure
that's
do.
Always fun. So.
Well, I guess I got some time this weekend to look at the schedules and figure out what we're going to be doing starting next week, I guess. All right, so for all those people that I mentioned before, Roger and Patrick saying good night. Our final score, Port Neches-Groves wins 29-21, and so ends the season of your Marshall Buffs. They finish with a record of 13-2. We love you, Marshall Buffs. Thanks for all the thrills that you gave us, and we know that you're going to put a pretty salty team on the field in 2023, and we'll keep pursuing that elusive state championship. Good night from Galena Park ISD Stadium. And as I say that, it has started to rain. Good night, everybody.